like anything was possible. Hit cruise control and rub my eyes. Yeah, I'm running down a dream that never would come to me. Working on a mystery, I'm going wherever it leads. I'm running down a dream.
Nice play. It's gone! Oh, wow! Oh, beautiful move. Bang! The American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, home of the Mavericks, where tonight it's Game 3 of the Western Conference Semifinals. This series tied at 1 apiece between the Mavs and the San Antonio Spurs. Tonight's starting lineups are delivered by AT&T here in this sellout crowd. And some changes in the starting lineups for San Antonio. Brent Barry gets the start. Manu Ginobili, who started the previous 8 playoff games, will come off the bench. Meanwhile, Devin Harris, so strong in Game 2, gets another start. The second-year guard getting the call for Avery Johnson. Ginobili, Duncan, Parker, and the Spurs, they're the defending champs. But the Dallas Mavericks, Hubie Brown, are a terrific basketball team.
Now Dallas playing with great confidence, a lot of speed, pressure on the San Antonio guards to somewhat control Devin Harris and then Jason Terry off the dribble, and especially when Stackhouse comes in. They have 3 guys who can fly and take you to the basket.
Duncan misses. Jock lost the rebound, but last touched by San Antonio. In Game 1 of this series, the Spurs with a 2-point win, a very narrow victory. In Game 2, back in San Antonio, the Mavericks dominated a 22-point victory. But the Spurs had 3 days to recover. They've been a little banged up, and they say they're ready to go as Nowitzki gets inside and can't get it to fall.
But he knows that it's there. He can take Horry off the dribble. You know that there's a change defensively. Bowen is going to be matched up with Josh Howard because Josh Howard has been terrific in the first 2 games.
Defensive 3 seconds, so a technical foul. 1 shot coming up. Sagana Diop was in the paint. You know, much made about the Dallas Mavericks this year, Hubie, and their improved defensive team that they've been under Avery Johnson. How much better are they defensively?
Well, they're doing a better job points against, and that it's a +3 from a year ago. The shooting percentage is the same from last season, but where they have improved tremendously is their rebounding. They average 4 more rebounds a game, not only on the defensive end, but also at the offensive end.
Tony Parker, the floater. Parker hasn't had an easy time of it in this series because they have some pretty good shot blockers, but a nice move there.
Yeah, well, Tony Parker is somewhat limited here with the quad injury and also the hip.
Nowitzki, an open shot. Dirk Nowitzki coming off his best regular season. He has not led them in scoring in each of the first 2 games, yet they still got the split.
Well, he's not getting as many shots as he did during the regular season. Bruce Bowen did a good job there. But now, Horry, this is going to be a difficult task for Horry to match up with Nowitzki.
Tony Parker looking for a shot early. Nowitzki, the rebounder, still leads them in boards, but he's been 3rd in scoring in this series as Terry can't get it to fall.
You can see now Dallas will take the early shot. Everyone thinks that they slowed down this year. They do not. They are pushing the ball, and once Harris went into this lineup, they are going with the early shot attempt.
Duncan, here comes the double team. They go right back. Nice entry pass. Duncan puts it in. Duncan's had a funny season in terms of his numbers, not what they normally are, Hubie. He's had problems with plantar fasciitis, but he is playing terrific in the playoffs.
Well, he never averaged under 20 points at any time in his career. This year, only 18. But it's because they limited his minutes, and fortunately, he's healthy now as best as he can be.
What a terrific move from Devin Harris. He had 20 points in Game 2. With moves like that, he can get to the rim, and he got fouled.
Mike, this young guy can explode off the dribble. He's really a handful. Now, it's going to be a difficult cover, whether it is Brent Barry on him or Parker, Tony Parker. Now, that's why we said Jason Terry, you know, he likes that perimeter game and a jump shooting game. But this young guy, he's attacking and taking it right to the basket.
Terry and Harris very quick, can take you off the dribble easily, and it's made it tough defensively for the San Antonio Spurs as the Mavs lead by 2.
Now they have Brent Barry in the game here right now, mainly to stretch the defense. He's been shooting extremely well. Ginobili 0 for 5 in threes. Pop is gambling here right now.
Loose ball foul calls on Robert Horry as he picks up his first. Again, Ginobili coming off the bench. Ginobili has been struggling a bit with his shooting. Brent Barry has been hot from the outside. They want to open things up for Tim Duncan.
Well, they're going to go more inside out rather than the movement out on the perimeter that they did in the first round as well as games 1 and 2.
Jason Terry. Terry in his 7th year in the league. First 5 years didn't sniff the playoffs. Did a solid job in the postseason last year and playing well. A 4-point lead early for Dallas. Duncan can't get the roll. Lost it. Duncan right there with the left hand and then tips it with the right hand.
Now, if Jop, we know Jop can block shots, Mike. The key for him is that once that shot goes up by Duncan, you got to get to him, put a chest on him, right in his chest, mainly because Duncan is such an outstanding offensive rebounder.
Harris, who did not turn the ball over once in 33 minutes in game 2, throws it away that time.
A stat that is just mind-boggling. Dallas plays at a quick pace. They also run a lot of pick and rolls. They are only averaging 9 turnovers in the first 2 games in the series.
And overall, under 12 in the whole playoffs. Parker left hand, tipped by Duncan to right to Harris. 3-on-2 break for the Mavericks.
Well, you got to space him.
Terry can't get it to fall.
They've had good looks, Mike. Every shot that they've attempted, open, good looks at the hoop.
Both teams coming home. Nice pass inside from Horry. Horry in and out, a little too hard off the glass. Harris to Nowitzki. Nowitzki, career high from 3 this year, draws the foul. And Horry's picked up his 2nd personal. Nowitzki should be able to shoot 3 free throws. Let's see the call from Joe Crawford. Yes. Let's send it over to Lisa Saunders.
Well, Mike, because of a strained right hip and contusions on both of his thighs, Tony Parker said that he felt like he was playing on one leg in game 2. Look for a much more active Tony Parker tonight. He says those 3 days of rest did him a world of good. In fact, he says he feels almost 100%. I was asking Tony if he thinks that the 3 years of just straight basketball from the NBA regular season, the playoffs, the international play for 3 consecutive years, if that was starting to take a toll on his body. And he said probably, but no one cares about that. It's the playoffs. Everyone's banged up. I got to keep trying to do what I can do to help my team win. Mike?
Lisa, he also said we got 3 days of massages. My hip's starting to bother me a little bit. I think I can go for the treatment.
You're right. Now, a great statement by the coach, Pop. Tony Parker carried us for 3/4 of the season at the offensive end of the floor as we were limiting Duncan's minutes. And then also the injury to the foot of Duncan. Really, he was not as explosive off the dribble. But now, at playoff time, with the day off in between games, it is so far now in the 2nd round. First round, 2nd round, Duncan is back.
You look at what they did during the regular season with Duncan with the foot problem. Ginobili with a foot problem, didn't play up, yet they won 63 games, a franchise record as Duncan knocks it down. And Parker, a big reason for that. But Duncan now starting to take the role in the playoffs that he always does.
Well, I like your point, because everyone was saying, geez, San Antonio is really not playing good basketball. But all he did was win games.
Here's Josh Howard, who has been just terrific in this series. Bowen is guarding in. That's a change in the defensive assignments. Blocked by Duncan. Excellent help defense, but Howard gets it back and he gets hacked from behind. And I believe it's Duncan. So Tim Duncan picks up his first.
Now that's the Tim Duncan of old. Just watch as Duncan comes from the other side of the lane. See, that's where he's a bear. Now he's averaging 3 shot blocks in the first 2 games here. Now you know that he's feeling good. During the season, especially on back-to-back nights, he could not make that and cover the ground to get to the shot block.
And Howard, the first free throw. Howard, one of the unsung young stars of the NBA. It's only his 3rd year in the league. Played his college ball at Wake Forest from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It was a first-round pick, but he was the last pick of the first round, so the expectations around the league and from fans weren't high. But he's just one of those do-it-all players. He is so versatile and one of the best 2-way young players in the game.
Right on, Mike. The big thing with him, they run no plays for Howard. Howard gets everything as a 3rd or a 4th option, hustle points, and he's one of those intangible players.
Parker. Duncan. Jot with the block.
Oh, I can understand why Duncan was up on that one. He thought that he got him on the wrist.
Harris again, and puts it in. Devin Harris with a chance for another three-point play.
In the early going, Devin Harris looks like Tony Parker from a year ago. Okay. This young guy, they gave him the green light. They put him in the starting lineup, and he is playing with a ton of confidence. And when you realize that during the season, he missed so many games because of an injury, and you just say, wow. And you have confidence like that when you sit out 26.
Harris, just his second year in the league. First 5 playoff games this year, he had 17 total points. Then he poured in 20 in game 2 in San Antonio. Parker given some room, and comes up short. Mavericks by 6 with 6.5 to play in the first, and an offensive foul. Fabricio Alberto, perhaps a little acting, but Terry did push off.
I agree 100%, Mike. That was a flop, but he did put the forearm on him. Now just watch this as Alberto steps out. See right there, he caught him with the forearm.
Alberto, the 31-year-old rookie from Argentina, a teammate of Manu Ginobili, the national team in Argentina that won the gold medal in the 2004 Olympics. He's getting some time with Ori in foul trouble. And Nazir Muhammad and Rasho Nesterovic right now not playing so well for Greg Popovich. Parker's pass deflected by Harris. Alberto blocked by Jot, his second rejection.
He can do that. This young man, you know, is a 7-footer with long arms, Mike. We have 1 second on the shot clock, and you can see that Jot is saying, hey, I'll take my 6 fouls. I'm challenging everything going to the rim, and then when they bring in Dampier, they have 2 shot blocker, rebounder guys.
Greg Popovich wants a timeout. His team down by 6 in the early going.
The NBA playoffs on ABC Sports, brought to you by City Identity Theft Solutions, Chevrolet, America's brand, Chevy, an American revolution, and Hanes. Look who we've got our Hanes on now.
Beautiful warm day in Dallas as the Mavericks off to a quick start about midway through the first quarter of game 3. Mavericks had a terrific season, 3rd best record in the NBA. They were 34-7 at home. They've had some good success in the regular season over the years, had some very good teams and good playoff teams, but they can never get over the hump. They did make the conference finals back in 2003. But UB this year, they feel they can get over the hump. They have the confidence to try and knock off the Spurs and get to their first ever NBA finals.
Mike, when you win 60 games and then you are in the top 3 teams that can win on the road, you know that you have a chance. Now, once Van Horn comes back in and gives them another score, you know, they're going to have 10 guys who can really do it here.
That was a shot clock violation. Again, they inbounded with 1 left on the clock. Ginobili just inserted, quickly had to put it up.
Now, I like the way that they talk. You talk to the key guys here, and they all have the same theme. Look, we've won 50 games or more ever since Mark Cuban has taken over this team. So we've done it 6 straight years. We do not want to win 50 games, get in the second round of playoffs. We want to get to the finals.
And they're playing hungry. Jot misses. Duncan the rebound. Again, this place has been a very tough place for visitors, as we mentioned, 34-7, but the Spurs are one of those teams that will not be intimidated.
Well, the Spurs are the #1 road team that we have in the NBA. But this is going to be a challenge. This is a tough building, and this team is playing with great confidence, and they're playing both ends of the floor.
Hence, 4 for 17 shooting for San Antonio to start. Harris has given Parker plenty of problems. Harris on the pull-up. Oh, so impressive last couple of games.
In the early going now, Mike, between Harris and Terry, okay, they have 11 points. So they are getting what they want. If you notice, they're getting that 8 to 12-foot jump shot easy.
Parker. Duncan calling for it. Nice pass inside. Ginobili draws the foul. Ginobili does that so well, he'll go to the line. And they need him to get his confidence and get his offense flowing.
Well, that was a pretty pass by Duncan. Usually when the cutter goes by and he does not receive the pass, the defensive player relaxes. And when he relaxes, that you can always get it to him. Not all the time, but the unselfishness of the passer helps the situation.
Ginobili last year had a sensational season where he was an all-star, but this year he was banged up. This 17 games, his foot seemed to bother him all year, and admitted he really hadn't played all that well on a consistent basis this season, especially on the road. You see staggering difference between playing in San Antonio. He's telling Greg Popovich, I'm starting to get my rhythm, but it's been a difficult year for him by his standards.
Mike, when he's on his game, come on, he breaks the defense down. He makes a catch with 4 seconds on the clock. Not only do you have Parker, but you have Ginobili. Not only can he get in there, but he draws fouls and he can finish in traffic. They're missing that now.
Alberto guarding Nowitzki. Harris again off the dribble. Harris with 9 points in 7 minutes.
They have to pay attention to these two guys. And that's why we keep emphasizing that right at the top of the show and in the top of this first quarter. Already, now they have 13 points, and they're making it look easy.
And Harris is 4 for 4. Ginobili blocked by Terry, but a foul. And Terry hops up in the air in protest of the call. That's going to be his second personal. Avery Johnson calmly points to the bench for a substitute.
You like to see Ginobili get it going. Because he's one of the flashy players that we have in the league. He plays with his heart, and he gives his heart and soul every single night. So you know, even though he's shooting poorly, he's still going to defend. He's going to play the passing lanes. You can run on the break. He'll be taking charges. But you just like to see him get his game together, because being injured throughout this entire season has been very difficult for him to handle.
Terry sits down with the 2 fouls. Marquise Daniels and Jerry Stackhouse come in as the Mavericks go small with Jop taking a seat.
Now Stackhouse has been on fire. 22 points a game, giving you 33 minutes, from the bench, shooting a high percentage.
Nowitzki takes Alberto off the dribble and draws the foul. As Alberto picks up his first, and Dirk Nowitzki to the free throw line.
Well, Alberto's got to understand that you're not going to block Dirk Nowitzki's shot. He's too big and he's too clever. Don't body him up. Make him shoot over the top of you. Just block him out so that he cannot get to the offensive rebound.
Duncan takes a seat. Nowitzki averaging just under 28 points per game in the playoffs. Had his best regular season in scoring in all shooting categories. Knocks down the first. Reminder, tomorrow on ABC, it's the Nets and the Heat game 4. That game from New Jersey. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern on ABC. And then Sunday on TNT, it's the Suns and the Clippers from Los Angeles game 4. Coverage beginning at 7:30 Eastern as Phoenix winning a thriller the other night. 8-point lead for Dallas. Dampier now comes in the game. And Ginobili knocks one down.
Now the big challenge for San Antonio now, without Duncan in there, Duncan is the only guy with more than 1 field goal in this game. So this group, they have some guys out there who are not going to score for you.
Howard, the jumper. Nowitzki gets the rebound. Greg Popovich screaming at Joe DeRosa, feeling that he went over the top on Bowen.
Well, there's pressure on the San Antonio team. They're so small right now that it puts pressure on Alberto to be the key rebounder. Everybody's got to get back in there.
And a moving screen called against the Mavericks. Greg Popovich has been hot with some of the calls early. Foul goes against Devin Harris. That's his first.
Pop is gambling right now. They've gone small, Mike. A lot of motion. We see a lot of motion, a lot of high screens, pick and rolls on the side. But can you get second shot attempts?
Ginobili, good moves, can't finish. Nowitzki gets it to the hands of Harris. Stackhouse to Howard. Kind of a delayed break when Howard able to put it in.
They're doing a nice job, Mike. They're looking for one another, but you like their pace. You're a Dallas fan. This is exciting basketball.
Michael Finley, the former Maverick, is in for San Antonio. Parker throws it out of bounds. He thought Bowen was up top. And for San Antonio, that's their second turnover. Timeout. Another standing ovation. Expect to see a lot of those. Jason Terry from outside, Devin Harris from inside. The starting backcourt for the Mavericks, giving them an 8-point advantage. for the Gatorade Cooler Talk as the Dallas Mavericks off to an aggressive start.
Well, you can see that they're just blowing right by the backcourt defenders for San Antonio. Devin Harris is 4 for 4 from the field, and he's making it look easy getting to the rim. Now, it's just time and time again. Now, and when they get the defender trying to cut off the lane, then they stop, they take the jumper, and then they give you the hesitation dribble and finish in your face.
Harris missed 23 of the last 27 games with a quad injury. It does not seem to be bothering him
not
here in
at
the
all.
last couple of games as we go back to Lisa.
Well, Mike, Devin Harris told me that he knew right away that he had caught the Spurs off guard in Game 2. And Tony Parker said as much. He said, we just didn't prepare for him at all. We didn't expect him to be able to get to the rim at will. Harris said he expected the Spurs to be much more physical with him in Game 3. He expected that they would foul him a lot, and they have. The only difference is he's still getting to the rim. He's just getting the and ones now as well. Mike?
Bowen called for a reach in, Lisa. That shot will not count. The crowd, not surprisingly, disagrees, but certainly that came before the shot attempt, but they're in the penalty, so Nowitzki will shoot 2.
Now, this will be the 10th and 11th foul shot attempts by Dallas. They're getting what they want. It's exciting. At the other end of the floor, San Antonio shooting 26%. Duncan is the only San Antonio player with more than 1 field goal.
And Nowitzki 6 for 6 from the line. I'm talking to Nowitzki earlier today and asking about his season, which was clearly his best overall season. He didn't want to talk about it. He said he's tired about his individual either honors or statistics. For him, it's all about winning a title. He's tired of watching the NBA Finals at home. He wants to participate. Bowen off the dribble. Ginobili inside. Good defense from Nowitzki.
The defense has been terrific. They're rotating down on the baseline. Dallas, very impressive. Now he got fouled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit on the arm by Ginobili. So Ginobili picks up his first.
Now, San Antonio, when they're going to the basket, you'll see Nowitzki, you'll see Jop, you'll see Dampier. They are challenging everything. At the other end, every time that we see a white shirt get down inside off the dribble, you are not seeing the challenging of the layup.
Greg Popovich telling us that the Mavericks are a very good team. They're very aggressive. He has to take a little pride in what's happening with Dallas because Avery Johnson is one of his favorite players. Johnson was his point guard when the Spurs won his first title back in '99, played a number of years with San Antonio. The two are very close, and Popovich telling us he's so thrilled for Avery Johnson for all the success, not only because he saw the development, but because what a special person he feels he is.
Well, you know, Avery, he wins the Coach of the Year, and he should. Because during this season, think about it, this team wins 60 games, and 6 of his 10 regulars missed 20 to 30 games. Now, that is a ton of adjustments that a young coach must make, and then keep the chemistry humming. And when you say 60 wins, and then you say the 3rd best record on the road, you know, you're saying a lot. The young man and his coaching staff had a great year.
Parker to Duncan. Duncan can't get it to fall, and Nowitzki with another rebound. Nowitzki 9 points and 5 rebounds already.
Nothing easy at that left side of the floor here.
Offensive foul as Howard lowered the shoulder. And Josh Howard picks up his first. I'd say the crowd is fairly into the calls.
Yeah, just keep an eye down in here now. Now you can see that was just, you know, step back. That was kind of easy. But also, if you're going to run that reverse move, now come on, you have to be a little bit more clever than that.
Ginobili very good at the extra drama.
Yes, he is. One of the best.
Parker had a hand at his face and still knocked it down. Tony Parker with his 2nd field goal.
They need to get back into the inside-out game. If they're going to hit Duncan, you can see the double team coming quick. When the pass goes out, you either shoot or you go right back to Duncan so he has single coverage.
Stackhouse. Shot clock down to 6. Nowitzki has Finley on him, able to shoot over his former teammate. Howard's tip nearly goes, and Stackhouse gets it back. Boy, this is an aggressive, athletic Dallas team.
Yes, it is.
Bowen and Nowitzki really going at it right now. Parker with the steal. Parker takes it right to Harris.
Great defense.
What are they going to call? A blocking foul.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
The two officials wisely looked at each other. Billy Spooner then took it and said that Harris got there late. That's the second foul on Harris, who might be shaken up.
Now, we had a good look at that. Just watch. Watch as Harris fights him to take it right there. Now, from our angle, okay, he took it right in the chest. I think, my opinion, charge, because he was outside of the defensive circle.
Again, you can be moving defensively and still draw the charge. Harris was, but he seemed to get an excellent position.
Mike, he took that one right in his numbers.
And hence the limp was Harris now with 2 fouls. So does Terry have 2 fouls. Parker will go to the free throw line. Tony Parker, what a terrific regular season he's had as Terry comes back in the game. Parker, one of the great shooting performances from a point guard in a long time. First time in 31 years an NBA point guard finished in the top 3 in field goal percentage. You have to go way back to Butch Beard in the mid-70s. Parker shooting 55% from the field.
Well, only Parker and Steve Nash were the only 2 guards to shoot over 50% this year.
Terry launches a 3. Way off.
No, that was way off. He rushed that.
And the Spurs will hold it for the final shot of the period. Shot clock turned off. San Antonio just 27% shooting near the opening quarter.
Very impressed with the rotation of Dallas.
Parker can't get it to fall. Plenty of time remaining. Finley deflects it. Finley gets it back. Ginobili puts it up. And off the mark. That would have counted if it went. And that will end the opening period as the Dallas Mavericks storm out of the gate with 27 first quarter points and some excellent defense as the Spurs shoot just 6 of 24 from the field. The Mavericks tied the series with a big Game 2 victory and now looking to go up 1 quarter complete in Dallas, Texas. A 9-point Mavericks lead. The Dallas Mavericks care about their community. Mavs Foundation and Mavs President of Basketball Operations, Donnie Nelson, recently awarding Frida Chacon the Mavs Special Edition American Iron Horse motorcycle. Chacon won the motorcycle in a raffle which raised over $23,000 for the Mavs Foundation. He got it signed by all the players, head coach Avery Johnson and owner Mark Cuban. NBA Care is continuing a tradition of basketball and service to the community. And here in Dallas, these fans are hungry for a title. They've seen a lot of good regular season teams, and this team is very hungry for a title. As the Mavericks, just a different mindset this year defensively. Always a high-scoring team, but Avery Johnson, since taking over late last year, has slowly changed that mindset.
Well, the thing is they're better in their rotations defensively, both foul line down, Mike, and then they are an excellent defensive rebounding team now. They cover. Everybody's back in there. Now, think about this. San Antonio is shooting 25%. They only have 3 offensive rebounds. There have been a ton of opportunities, but Dallas clearing the glass, getting the ball out, and they're 8-1 advantage in fast break points.
They beat Memphis in the first round in 4 straight. It's the first 4-game sweep in franchise history. They were very impressive as Van Exel, a former Mav, who was very strong for them in their run to the conference finals several years ago. He gets his first points. He's been a non-factor in the first 2 games of this series, including being ejected in Game 2. Stackhouse.
That was an excellent screen down on Barry to open up Stackhouse. And when we told you now, Stackhouse 22 a game, and he's been shooting a terrific percentage.
Finley on the backer. There you go. Well, Michael Finley's got to feel a little strange. I know he's played some regular season games here, but after 8.5 seasons with Dallas, his first year in San Antonio, he's played in 24 playoff games in this building.
Popovich very happy with his leadership and the fact that he could score the ball for them coming off the bench.
Stackhouse in a rhythm.
Yeah, this guy's feeling it. You know, during the season, he had injuries. You know, he missed a ton of games. Another one of these guys that missed over 20, but he struggled with a shot. But now in the playoffs, he's sizzling.
Here comes the double on Duncan. Barry's been shooting well and continues, hits the 3-pointer, and that's the first 3-pointer made by either team. Now, they haven't taken many.
If they're going to double down on Duncan, you cannot be late on the rotation to Barry. You've got to anticipate that.
He's shooting 52% from long range in the playoffs, including that big one against Sacramento. Stackhouse again, 3 for 3 off the bench. Mavericks shooting at 55%. This is against one of the better defensive teams in the league.
Now, see, this is when they're playing Howard. They have Howard playing the power forward position. And then you have guys like Daniels, Terry's, and Stackhouse out there. So they're putting a lot of pressure on the perimeter defensive people of San Antonio. And then you have a guy like Howard who you can match up on Ginobili because he's such a great athlete.
Matchup so key in this series because of the different ways the teams can go. Duncan will go to line. You see his free throw numbers. He's very streaky. He's had some real rough stretches. Also had some good ones as he knocks down the first, and Sagana Diop comes back in. Dampier will sit with his 2 fouls.
It still comes down to whether you allow Duncan a layup, you allow Duncan a second shot dunk. No. What you do is you foul him and you put him on the foul line and make him make the foul shots. Throughout his career, only a 69% shooter. This year, a low of 63. You've got to make him make the shots.
And you see Duncan against Sacramento and then the big games against Dallas. And he did not play well against the Mavericks during the regular season. In the 4 games, averaged just 18 a game. Shot just 40% from the field. But as Greg Popovich told us before the game, he had to kind of pace himself during the course of the regular season because of that plantar fasciitis. Never complained, Yubi. He played in 80 games. A lot of guys wouldn't play that much. That's right. What's a painful injury, but he didn't talk about it, just kept his professionalism going, and now he stepped up his game in the postseason. Terry, tough shot.
One thing about his game, he makes tough shots. Okay. Now he can shoot an air ball, but he's coming right back with another tough shot.
Jason Terry has loved his change the last couple of years in Dallas, finally getting to play in those big playoff games. And he gives the Mavericks an 8-point lead.
That's how I give Diop a lot of credit there. Oh, good rotation.
But a foul.
Now, Diop is fronting Duncan in the low post. That puts a lot of pressure if they are not going to press the passer. You've got to get up. You've got to get up in Barry's face so that he cannot make that pass. Now, Stackhouse came across for the good rotation to help on the trap, but that allows you to get to the front of the rim.
Howard, his second foul. Robert Horry, 14 for 14 in terms of getting to the playoffs. In all 14 years he's been in the league, his team has advanced to the second round. Of course, he has the 6 rings, won titles with 3 different teams, 2 with Houston. And, of course, the 3 with the LA Lakers and last year with San Antonio. And you know what, Yubi? Recently he was asked, what kind of career would he rather have? A Robert Horry career where he wins 6 titles as a role player, or like Charles Barkley or Karl Malone, the big numbers but never a title. He picked Barkley and Malone's careers over his own. Said he always wanted to be the big gun.
Yeah, but that's because he knows when he goes home, he looks in the drawer and he sees all his rings. All right, come on, Mike.
Meanwhile, Terry got knocked to the ground. They call it on Robert Horry, so that's 3 quick fouls on Horry.
Now, in game 1 and 2, Horry was playing Josh Howard. They had Bruce Bowen on Nowitzki. Now, Howard played big in both games, point-wise. The key being, in my opinion, Horry only averaged 3 shot attempts. Here he's getting major minutes in this series, but no shot attempts.
Terry gets to the ball. Right now, basically on the floor, you have 2 centers and 8 guards. Both teams with very small lineups. And nobody's missed here in the second quarter. Mavericks 5 for 5. Spurs have did all 3 of theirs.
Mike, if you're a coach, you're Dallas coaching staff, you're happy. You're getting wide open shots.
Barry called for travel. That's the 3rd San Antonio turnover. Spurs shooting better here in the second quarter. And so the Dallas Mavericks, including Jason Terry, as the Mavericks continue to shoot red hot from the field. And they lead by 9.
Dan Patrick in our Times Square studios. Taco Bell update, Game 3. Cavs, Pistons, and LeBron James, a monster fourth quarter. He had a triple-double, 9 of 18 from the floor. He had 10 assists, 10 rebounds. More importantly, the Cavs had a victory. They're down 2-1. Game 4 coming up on Monday on TNT between these two. Heat and Nets. We'll bring that to you coming up tomorrow afternoon. GMC NBA Nation starts at 3 Eastern now. Back to you, Mike.
Dan, a 9-point lead for Dallas. Want to remind you, the astounding season finale of Grey's Anatomy is just too big for just one night. So you get 2 nights. Grey's Anatomy. The season finale begins Sunday night at 10, 9 Central only on ABC. As you mentioned, Greg Popovich is proud of what's going on the Dallas Mavericks bench because he has some good friends there. We talked about Avery Johnson, of course, his former player, but also Joe Prunty sitting next to Johnson. Spent 9 years, started as an intern, then the video coordinator. Avery Johnson, one of his first calls when he got the job was to hire Joe Prunty. And those two know what San Antonio does as well as any opponent in the league.
Yeah, but, you know, they groom people here in all parts. Management, assistant coaches, you know, trainers, etc., just like everyone else. But they have a sound formula here. Excellent coaching staff, strong philosophy, and this young man right here has worked his way up from the bottom. And that's the way to learn this business.
And you can take great pride in that, Yubi, because so often during your career, so many of your assistants went on to be head coaches, and that's something you really take a lot of pride in, as Popovich does.
Absolutely. The thing is, and there's Del Harris. You know, Del's been a warrior. He's been an assistant coach, but he's been a head coach in a number of franchises with a ton of success. Now, he's on one side of Avery Johnson, and you have another young fella who's got a lot of X and O's. You know, naturally, this is a major test for him because he's giving advice under a ton of pressure. But then again, you got Del Harris on the other side.
Popovich, of course, winner of 3 titles. Harris, a former head coach. 10 on the shot clock. By the way, that last foul on San Antonio was Duncan's second. As the shot clock winds down. Barry blocked by Howard. Ball knocked loose. Players falling all over the floor. Shot clock never reset. And Duncan, 24-second violation. It never reset because the Mavericks never gained possession after the blocked shot.
How about the athletic move to get that blocked shot? You had a double team. The man left the player at the 3-point line, went down in and doubled, and then we have Howard coming all the way across. It's just sensational.
Josh Howard has made such a huge difference for this team. And he played well in the playoffs last year for him. Not afraid of the playoff pressure. Terry, again, tough shot. Knocked out of bounds, Spurs ball.
I like the way that they're working. Yeah, they're running their half-court sets. They're getting good shots. They're running the break. But then they are crashing the offensive glass to keep things alive. Because outside of Duncan, this is a small unit for San Antonio out on the floor.
Nowitzki going to come back in. They didn't lose any ground with him on the bench. Duncan, nice up and under, and draws the foul on Jop. And it's going to be his second.
Now that was a classic move by Duncan. That's a beautiful up and under in slow motion. Now just keep an eye on it now. Just watch as he makes his move, shows the ball, comes right back up and in. But how about the way he protected the ball? Jop at 7 foot with the long reach could not get back.
So Jop will sit down. And Tim Duncan, again, you talk about playoff pressure, being able to rise above it. Duncan, a 2-time regular season MVP, but a 3-time NBA Finals MVP with his 3 rings with the San Antonio Spurs. An efficient, quiet leader. Greg Popovich knows how lucky he's been in his coaching career to have Duncan as his main guy. Stackhouse, long. Spurs only down by 7 despite all the fireworks early.
That's correct.
And Duncan draws another foul.
Excellent point, Mike. If he goes to the line here now and he makes his foul shot, in spite of all of the beautiful execution by Dallas, they're winning the fast break game 8-1. They're doing a terrific job in their half-court sets. They're shooting close to 60%. All of this, and you turn around and you look at the score, you make 2, you're only down 5.
Duncan short on that free throw. You see the 3 titles, and he's an all-time leader. Duncan, of course, out of Wake Forest. Wake Forest well represented today between Duncan and Josh Howard. Normally those other AC schools get a lot of publicity, but we're very proud of these 2 players. Duncan 1 of 2. Almost 5 minutes gone by in the second, along with Hubie Brown and Lisa Salters. Mike Green on hand. Game 3 of this Western Conference semifinal series, tied at 1 apiece. Howard nearly gets his own rebound. Instead, he's called for a loose ball foul, and that's going to be 3 on Josh Howard.
I like that last play. They used Devin Harris, a guard, to backpick, knowing in that situation that San Antonio would switch. And then all of a sudden you have a mismatch and you get the open shot.
Is that part of Avery Johnson knowing the way they play?
Yeah, well, of course. Well, yeah, but, you know, that changes from game to game, Mike. Coaches, you know, they tweak their defensive game plans, and then also in their offensive sets, how you defend things, they'll change whether they curl or whether they bump and fade. You know, all of that comes from game to game. These are the good teams that work hard in order to get their guys high percentage shots, because when two good defensive teams like this are playing one another, the pressure is on the coaching staff to get your 3 best scorers high percentage shots in their best areas.
Barry at the line. A 6-point game. Just under 7 to play in the second. Barry playing extremely well. And at the right time of year, and he got to start his first playoff start this season. Ginobili came off the bench, but they're both on the floor right now. Harris. And a whistle away from the ball. It's going to go against San Antonio.
Yeah, Joey Crawford is not going to allow you on that baseline movement to hold on to people or bang him with that forearm.
Bowen his second, 13th foul. Bowen, of course, one of the great defenders in the league, all NBA first-team defense. Although Avery Johnson called his defense bear hug defense. Harris missed it. And a late whistle and a foul. And Barry upset with the call as he picks up the personal, and Harris to the free throw line.
Just think today, every time that Devin Harris has decided to turn on the burners, he just blows by people.
Harris, highly touted out of college, played his college ball at Wisconsin, was the 5th overall pick back in 2004. Washington selected him, but he didn't play for them. Was traded in the deal that saw Antoine Jamison go from Dallas to the Wizards, and he had a rough start last year in his rookie season with the Mavericks. Said Dirk Nowitzki was very hard on him in practice, gave him a tough time. He even questioned whether or not he should have come out early out of Wisconsin, but he talked a lot to his college people and started to gain confidence, and Avery Johnson has been huge in his development.
Well, Mike, that's because he joins a team that for 6 straight years wins over 50 games, so there's a lot of pressure. Oh, you have to make that catch, Muhammad. That was a dunk.
Ginobili, perfect pass. Nazem Ahmed couldn't get it. Harris right back to the goal, and he puts it in. 3rd time already in the first half he got hit, and still able to make a tough shot.
The guy like tonight, he's attacking the rim. And he's finishing, he's going strong. No question in his mind that he's in your face.
He came off the bench during the regular season. Avery Johnson said they started him after looking at the regular season tapes of the Spurs Mavericks game. He knew he needed more offense, a little more quickness, and that prompted him to put in the starting lineup in game 2, and he's been a huge boost. Barry can't hit the 3. Barry deflects it, still Dallas ball as we approach the midway point of the second. Lead back up to 10. We love seeing these young players in big-time playoff pressure able to produce like this.
Well, San Antonio playing small ball, and it's not being productive, okay? They are not scoring the basketball. Now, Pop is looking for all different combinations, hoping that they'll get hot. But what you have to do, you got to defend first.
Nowitzki off the miss. Lots of contact, ball knocked around, and Terry comes up with it. Nowitzki drives, draws the foul, and he'll go back to the line as Nazem Ahmed bumped him.
I like Dirk's game now. He forgets a little bit about the 3-point. He's taking you to the rim. Double-figure foul shot attempts.
You're watching ABC Sports.
Oh, baby! With the left hand.
Home of the NBA Finals.
The NBA playoffs on ABC Sports. Brought to you by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light. Taste the cold. And GMC, engineered to the highest standard. Professional grade.
Back in Dallas, Texas, just past the midway point of the second quarter. Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks off to a strong start. Nowitzki having a big first half. But if you ask him about his individual numbers, he doesn't want to discuss it.
I had some good, decent years already in this league, and really it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I mean, ultimately, we want to take this team and this franchise to the next level. And I've been in the playoffs now 6 or 7 years in a row, and you know, it's just not it anymore. You know, we want to go to the next level, and you can't be sitting at home in the summer always and watching the finals and say, hey, we want to get there one year. So hopefully this is our year. We can go on the way.
Coach Brown, you love to hear players talk like that.
Well, yeah, he's very coachable. He's a winning player. Now think about it. 27 points a game, 9 rebounds. He does not take 20 shots a game. He shoots 48% from the field, 41 in threes, and he's only one of 4 players to shoot over 90% on the foul line.
By the way, that last foul was against Bruce Bowen, not Muhammad, so Bowen has 3. Of course, Nowitzki, what an interesting story. Growing up in Germany, his father was a great handball player, was a handball coach. And that's what Dirk played as a kid, played a lot of tennis and handball and basketball. But he couldn't do it all, so he chose basketball. His dad was very upset to the point where he's quit as a handball coach. But as he's watched Nowitzki's basketball career blossom, he is now basketball first, Mr. Nowitzki. And Dirk certainly just develops year in and year out. Remember first year when he was picked, Don Nelson, then the head coach, said he was going to be Rookie of the Year, and Nowitzki struggled at first as a rookie in the NBA. But what growth he's had over the years. Duncan, there's the banker.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Dampier stepped away from him. But see, anytime that you use that reverse move and you face up on a guy, big people will always take a step back. They'll give you that jump shot because they do not want you to be beaten off the dribble.
Daniels tied up nicely by Finley. Terry with a hand at his face. Terry puts it in. That's a 2. And Terry now with 10 points.
Yeah, he's 5 for 9 from the field. This backcourt, very explosive.
24 combined points with Terry and Harris. Duncan lost it. Still Spurs ball with 8 on the shot clock.
When the Spurs go in at halftime, Mike, they have to talk over the fact that they're shooting 32%. And outside of Duncan with 4 field goals, Parker has 2. No other player has more than 1.
Ginobili. Nowitzki tried to save it, but could not. And the Spurs get a new 24.
I just want to bring out a point here. The Spurs, in previous years, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in basketball. They're shooting 32% tonight. They have 4 offensive rebounds. Give Dallas a ton of credit, taking care of that defensive board.
Big rebounding edge for Dallas. Also shooting as they're at 52%. Alberto getting the extra time. And that's not really why he's out there.
No, you can't go away from the basket either, Mike. All right. So what if you have Nowitzki on you? He's not a shot blocker. You've got to take him strong to the rim.
Harris strong, but not time. Could not finish. A rare time. That's his first miss after going 5 for 5. Single coverage on Duncan. There's the double. Ginobili. He is struggling again shooting the ball, and a loose ball foul called on Alberto as Ginobili now 1 of 7 from the field.
Well, throughout this series, he has not made a 3, and that was one of the big parts of his game, especially on nights where you get anywhere between 20 and 25. He would always hit you with those 3s, then you would get up and play him tight. He would blow by you off the dribble, and he was so effective. But right now, you can play him for the drive, put the pressure on him to make a 3.
And you look at a 7-footer who has now missed a couple of free throws, but that's rare for him. Said one of his goals, Ubi, was to shoot 90% from the line.
Well, I jinxed him. I gave him the thing that he shot 90. Now he's missed 2 in a row.
I don't think that had anything to do with it.
You know, it's kind of nice to see a man with such a beautiful stroke at 7 feet.
He's a guy that in his rookie year averaged just 8 points and 6 rebounds, and now one of the premier players in the league. Gives the Mavs a 12-point lead.
They're fronting the post. They're trying to make it difficult to get the initial pass into Duncan.
Ginobili. Alberto right there. Mauricio Alberto getting some extra minutes with foul problems.
Well, he's a big, tough young man. No, yeah, he's 30, okay? But we know that with the strength, he should be going to the offensive glass to give Duncan some help here.
Nowitzki to Daniels. Shot clock winding down. Alberto defending Nowitzki. Stackhouse spots up for 3. And Dampier, the offensive rebound.
In this series, Dampier and Jock do not have a lot of points, but it's the intimidation, the shot blocking, and rebound. That is their greatest asset. Plus, they're doing a dynamite job on baseline rotation, helping out on the drivers to the basket.
Mavs by a dozen.
T-Mobile halftime report coming up. The champs down a dozen. Back in our Times Square studios, Dan Patrick with Mark Jackson, Michael Wilbon, and from the New Jersey Nets, Richard Jefferson. What do you think so far in the first half?
It's gonna be a tough one for San Antonio to come back. I think Dallas is playing well. Devin Harris, like you guys said, is is going to be key in this game. He's playing well right now. If he can keep that up in the second half, then it'll be tough to beat.
I like the way that Devin Harris all of a sudden is looking like Tony Parker, attacking the basket and making plays.
Richard, what happened in Game 3? We thought the Nets might be up, coming home, 1-1 tied. What happened?
I thought we were too. Bad execution in the fourth quarter. We made some mistakes, and we just have to learn from that and move on to Game 4, and hopefully we can win that next one and go up to Miami and steal one.
All right. More from Richard Jefferson coming up at the T-Mobile halftime report. Mike?
And Richard Jefferson may be fined for not having the studio dress code. Meanwhile, Avery Johnson looking sharp, his team looking sharp. They're up by 12 as we go to Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, with about 4 minutes to go before every halftime, home or away, Avery Johnson's coaching staff gives the Mavericks video department a list of about 10 plays that they have to clip off and put on DVD that Avery Johnson will watch before talking to the team at half. And I asked, were they ever late? And he said, we had a few close calls because of technical difficulties, but they've never been late. They say that Avery Johnson is a video-watching nut, that sometimes he'll hunker down in his office and watch 10 hours of tape, and they say they're happy to clip it off because at least he's watching it. Mike?
Well, Lisa, those video coordinators, and you'll agree, they're the unsung heroes, the amount of work those guys do for the coaching staff.
Well, the defenses have definitely improved, and mainly because of the computer system of the advanced scouts and then the video coordinators and the fact that of the high technology as well as the fax machine.
Nowitzki, count it, and a foul. A blocking foul on San Antonio.
When we asked him today, Mike, about his three-point game, you remember when he first broke in, he would take a ton of threes, stop outside, come over half point, in transition, shoot the three. And he said, no, I've changed my game, and Avery has forced me to change my game because he's in my face if I do not go to the basket. He's become a better player because every time you go and you get fouled, you're putting fouls on the front court people.
Johnson had that effect on the entire team. Everybody's three-point attempts pretty much are down. He much prefers guys taking it to the basket. And now the Mavericks with their largest lead of the first half.
Now, how about the fact that they've already attempted 24 foul shots? 24 foul shots in this first half, and we still have 2.5 minutes.
They had 45 attempts in game 2. And Parker. Tony Parker now with 7 points. Greg Popovich would just love to get this in single digits by halftime, obviously less, but the way the Mavericks have come out shooting the basketball, looking for a positive. Daniels goes right at Duncan and gets the bounce. Nice soft touch from Marquise Daniels.
Let's go back over the last 5 years, where we have San Antonio. Let's go back over 7 years where they won 3 championships, where they always had the 2 7-footers down in the paint with the shot blocking, the rebounding, and then the offensive rebounding. Going down the lane against San Antonio was difficult. Tonight, it's an expressway.
Meanwhile, it's been difficult for San Antonio getting inside because of the shot blockers for Dallas. Parker that time gets it in, and he's got 9.
Yeah, I like this. This is a tough cover for Finley.
Van Exel off the turnover. A couple of former Mavs.
Oh,
beautiful
nice
pass, says Duncan, the trailer. And Tim Duncan with 15 points. Spurs back within 9.
Yeah, see, Dampier fell asleep that time. No way can you not run, side by side with Duncan.
Coming up on a minute remaining in the first half.
Nice move.
Stackhouse spinning, tough shot. And Finley the rebound. Here's Ginobili pushing the floor. Inside, and Ginobili, pretty play, and it's a 7-point game. Avery Johnson calls timeout.
That is only the second score in transition for San Antonio. Now this is just, keep an eye to the right. This is Duncan running hard, out racing Dampier to the basket. And here, Ginobili. Ginobili looking good tonight, very active.
The Dallas Mavericks have been in control most of this first half, but a quick 6-0 run, and all of a sudden San Antonio has cut a 13-point lead to 7.
Well, if you can hold Dallas to 1 shot, it hasn't been because they're turning the ball over. Get out on the break, and now with Ginobili, you can see he's more active this evening. Tony Parker feels a lot better, but he's still not at 100%. This group that's out on the floor right now with Finley in there, they can get out and make things happen for you. Easy points. They need easy points because they've proven right now in this first half that when they get in their half-court sets, they are not getting high-percentage looks.
20-second timeout called by San Antonio. Let's look at this last play from the Spurs.
Yeah, now just keep an eye on this. This is just Ginobili. Yeah, well, what they did is they forgot to stop the ball. That's a situation where the first guy should have cut Ginobili off. Anytime that you're in transition defense, you take the ball and you make the ball change direction. You do not allow a player to keep his dribble and go right to the basket. Make him pass the ball because now you might have a chance for a turnover.
And Ginobili saw the opportunity and exploded to the basket. Ginobili with 8 points in the first half. Duncan wants to come back in. Will do so at the next whistle.
Well, the Spurs are always at their best when Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili are functioning at a high level of execution.
Harris again to the glass.
It's all right, though. He got in there. He had a good look.
Yeah, he does it effortlessly. So quick off the dribble. Parker goes it. Backs it in as Nowitzki got there a little bit late, and an 8-0 run by the Spurs.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty. That was vintage Tony Parker. He went right at him. Right now, Dallas has gotten away from their movement. Right? They can't be cute here right now.
Terry on the drive. Terry to the basket. Offensive foul. Ginobili steps in, and Terry picks up his 3rd.
He's having a great half. I'm really happy for this young guy because he plays with such a spirit. You just see, watch him come across and take this charge. That's beautiful because that's when he's at his best and he's feeling good.
Terry felt he got there too late. Ginobili hasn't shot well, just 2 for 9. But again, making those hustle plays that makes him such an intangible player. And with the shot clock off, the Spurs will hold it for the final shot of the period. Parker amongst the leaders in the league in points in the paint, talking about beating people off the dribble. Ginobili, Barry, Finley, that's a 2. And that'll end the first half. And San Antonio has to be thrilled as they finish on an 8-0 run.
Oh, we've been talking about the excellence of Dallas transition, half-court offense, holding San Antonio to 1 shot attempts. San Antonio struggling, shooting a poor percentage from the side. And you turn around and you walk off, you're only 5 down.
Let's go to Lisa Salters.
Thanks, Mike. Devin, an 8-0 run at the end of that half slowed you guys down a little bit. But for you, you said you didn't expect to surprise the Spurs tonight, and yet another big half for you. How are you still able to get to the rim so easily?
Well, we really, the first quarter really got out in transition. We got to the basket without letting their defense set up.
you know, we kind of slowed down the tempo a little bit in the second quarter. That's why they're able to catch up. You know, we really unhappy the way we ended the second quarter.
The guys back in our New York studios were saying that you look like Tony Parker out there. For a second-year player, this is just your second career playoff start. When you hear a compliment like that, what do you think?
It's definitely a great compliment, man. Tony's a great player, you know, and I idolize him a lot, you know, watching him, you know, the last couple of years, the way he got to the basket, you know, he didn't just settle for jump shots, so it's a big compliment.
All right, good luck the second half.
All right, thank you.
Mike, back to you.
Yeah, he idolizes him, but he's going right at him. That's for sure. T-Mobile halftime report coming up with Dan, Michael, and Mark in the studio, along with Richard Jefferson. First half analysis, plus LeBron James and the Cavaliers defeating the Pistons. It's all coming up in the T-Mobile halftime report. Mavericks leading by as many as 13. See the Spurs end the half on an 8-0 run. Halftime of Game 3, and it's a 5-point Mavericks lead.
Live from Times Square in New York City, this is the T-Mobile Halftime Report.
Second-year pro out of Wisconsin, Devin Harris, 5 of 7 from the floor, 14 points. The Mavs, up by as many as 13, allowed the Spurs to go on an 8-0 run to close the first half, and we got a ball game. Prime time, welcome to our T-Mobile Halftime Report. I'm Dan Patrick with Mark Jackson, Michael Wilbon. Do you feel like some missed opportunities for the Mavs?
Absolutely, and for the Mavs, that's a frustrating thing. When you have an opportunity to put a team away, you're up 13 points in your own building, team struggling, you're having your way on the offensive end, you have to put them away. It may come back to haunt them.
Didn't we see this last night with the Clippers at home in a 1-1 series, a chance to go ahead in that series? What happened? Missed opportunities. The Spurs only shooting 41%, yet they are very much in this.
And being out-rebounded as well. Let's look at the T-Mobile 5 key halftime stats here. Let's look at the backcourts here, Mark. What steps out at you?
Well, once again, the Dallas Mavericks backcourt, very aggressive on the offensive end, had their way in the first half, certainly getting plays, making plays for themselves and for the other guys on the team.
Other playoff action earlier today on ESPN, Pistons-Cavs. LeBron and the Cavs trying to avoid being the first team since 1990 to get swept by the Pistons in a playoff series. LeBron James, he went for a triple-double. Cleveland up by 1. Richard Hamilton gets stripped. Ben Wallace had only 5 points, but gets these 2. Detroit up 44-36. But LeBron James single-handedly brings the troops back in the fourth quarter. Ended up with 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Biggest shot of the afternoon against a great defender in his face, Tayshaun Prince. LeBron hits it with his mom looking on as they pick up the victory in Game 3. First 3 quarters struggled. Fourth quarter, 15 points, 6 of 8 from the floor, and had 3 of his 10 assists. What stood out?
Oh, we're all witnesses that LeBron James can take over a basketball game, and not just what is scoring. It's not about scoring for great basketball players. It's about making the scoring play. And LeBron certainly did that for himself and got other guys great looks down the stretch.
But he finished. How about that criticism of him early in the season that LeBron couldn't finish? Set up everybody early, and he did everything late.
And the Cavs playing without Larry Hughes. They're going to have to play without him in Game 4 coming up on Monday night. Just getting started here. Great to have you along for the ride in prime time. Coming up, Richard Jefferson of the New Jersey Nets. What color is the shirt he's got on?
That's terrible, Dan.
Well, you'll see for yourself coming up.
This halftime report presented by T-Mobile, official partner of the NBA playoffs.
Coming up Sunday on ABC, we bring you Game 4, the Miami Heat against the New Jersey Nets. Pat Riley and company going into New Jersey in Game 3 and coming out with a victory. We'll bring you Game 4 starting at 3 Eastern with GMC NBA Nation on ABC. Dan Patrick with Mark Jackson, Richard Jefferson and the New Jersey Nets, and Michael Wilbon rejoining us. What happened in Game 3 at home?
We just struggled. We played pretty good, throughout the game, but I really think it started towards the end of the third quarter. We were up, I think, 7 with about a minute to go. Then they ended up tying it at 72-all, and then, we just kept making mistakes, game plan mistakes, turnovers, and, they capitalize on them, normally get to the free throw line or getting easy buckets for Shaq.
Got to be frustrating for a guy like you that's so talented and can score on the offensive end to just be limited with standing on the sideline, not being involved in offense.
Well, everybody has their roles with our team, and we've been playing a certain way throughout the year, and I have no problem with that. I know what my abilities are and what I can do, but I also understand on a good team, everyone has to make sacrifices.
Dwayne Wade is a great player, but he seemed to be camped out at the foul line against you guys, Richard, in Game 3. What has to change in terms of guarding him?
Well, it's tough. He almost outshot our entire team. I think like 16-20, and so for us, we're going to have to, get in front of him a little bit more. And you try, but he's a very talented player, especially when you put him in pick and rolls, especially with Shaq, there in the game. You're a little bit slower to go out there and run out to him and help out because, he does have that dominant force behind him.
I want to know what you were talking to Alonzo Mourning and Antoine Walker about there during the game.
We were just having a conversation, about different things, some worldly issues.
Just life.
Yeah, life.
Life and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, and I just told him I told Zoe to write down some stuff and just give it to me after the game. And basically what I did is I told him how much I appreciated being his teammate. For that short amount of time. And I just wish him the best.
Wow.
I know one thing you didn't ask him. You probably didn't say, "Hey, I'm going to join Mike and Dan and Mark tomorrow. What should I wear?" Because you're better than this. You got to be kidding me, Richard Jefferson.
I normally don't like to throw people under the bus and then.
But you're going to do that.
But Gary Sussman. Yeah, I asked him before today at practice. I'm like, was it just going to be like a sit-down one-on-one thing, or is it just going to? I'm going to be on the panel? Because if I would have been on the panel, I would have worn a suit like you guys. Probably not a suit that bad. Probably not a suit like that, but I would have worn a suit.
Nets executive, boom!
Is that an NBA dress code?
Yeah, that's a.
I mean, it's a T-Mobile halftime report violation.
It's not a violation. However, if we're going to call you out, we got to see the part that complements this ensemble. Can we see that?
Yeah.
Nobody accessorizes quite like you do.
I like these. I'm old enough to understand old school Chuck Taylors and Lime.
I'm okay with that. Here's the problem. He's got a purse that matches the shoes and the shirt. That's the surprising part.
I know his dad is rolling on the couch right now.
I was walking around New York today. It was a nice day, summer day. So, I threw on a couple summer colors. I had no idea I'd be doing an interview on TV.
What do you think Shaq is thinking now looking at you with that outfit on?
He wants an Italian icy.
Oh, really? Is that what he's thinking? That's what he's thinking? Okay.
Good luck in Game 4. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Richard.
Thanks for having me.
Richard Jefferson of the Nets. They got Game 4 coming up on ABC. That'll be Sunday starting at 3 Eastern with GMC NBA Nation. Enjoy the second half. Mavs and Spurs. Mike Green and Hubie Brown with the call coming up.
This halftime report presented by T-Mobile, official partner of the NBA playoffs. The second half is next after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Now it's time for the McDonald's I'm Lovin' It highlights.
I felt so good, like anything was possible. Hit cruise control and rub my eyes. Yeah, I'm running down the train. They never would come to me. Working on a mystery. I'm going wherever it leads. I'm running down the train.
Those were the McDonald's I'm Lovin' It highlights.
Game 3 from Dallas. The Mavericks had a 13-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. But San Antonio went on an 8-0 run, and it's 53-48. Hi again, everyone. With Hubie Brown, Mike Green on hand. We'll hear from Lisa Salters in a moment. If you're San Antonio, you have to feel pretty good the way they played and the way the Mavericks played early to be only down by 5. One of the keys, Hubie, was the play of Tim Duncan.
Well, Tim Duncan got it going. He's shooting 50%. Now just keep an eye on
our Coors Light freeze cam.
Just keep an eye on the double team. Now here's the kick out to Barry. This is the only three-point shot made in the first half by the Spurs. Now keep an eye now also on Duncan. He sees no double team. Now he's going to take the up and under. Fundamental move. He just takes his time. Now right here, keep an eye on Duncan. He's already back. Dampier's right next to them. Watch how he just out-hustles Dampier, and then they catch him on a trailer move right down in front of the basket.
Meanwhile, for the Dallas Mavericks, It's the same scenario we've seen from them in the playoffs. It's not just Dirk Nowitzki with the Mavericks. He has a lot of good quality help.
Well, anytime that you're saying that the team, you're getting to the line, you know, for that first half 23 times, that's big. Now you look at the scoring by Terry and Harris along with Nowitzki. Nowitzki not getting a lot of looks, but he's 10 for 12 on the foul line.
Let's send it over to Lisa.
My Greg Popovich just told me, he said, our half-court defense has been god-awful. He said, I can't believe that they're just able to get to the rim so easily. He said, I think we are playing just about the worst defense that we have played all season long. He said, we normally don't score a whole lot of points, so 48 points for us is fine. He said, I just can't believe how many open lanes we're allowing them, and we just can't afford to do it. Mike?
Well, they gave up a lot of points in game 2. But they also scored a lot of points in the second quarter to get them right back in the game. They had a 30-point quarter in the second. Terry will set it up. Terry also with a terrific first half. Gets inside. Howard spots up for 3.
Yeah, that was excellent court awareness. You get a big man playing out in that area, take him strong, force the defense to recover and kick out.
Barry stripped. Harris having the big first half after the terrific game 2. Lost it. Tried to get it back. A little frenzy pace in this stuff.
Yes, it is. Right.
Opening minute.
A little bit like rollerball.
Crowd just settling back in their seats. They've watched like 9 missed passes already. Parker comes up short, and Howard the rebound. That's what makes Howard so good. There's a little bit of everything for this team, including rebound. Coast to coast from Howard. Pretty play.
What a move. He made a big move on Bruce Bowen. He just took him right to the basket.
You're talking about one of the best defensive players in the NBA in Bowen.
Well, it's tough when you got a high-quality athlete like Howard in the open floor. Tough coverage, Mike, as you're going backwards. You're running backwards.
Parker gets in the paint, stripped by Nowitzki, gets it back, blocked by Jock. That's his 3rd block, and a 24-second violation.
Hey, Matt, if you have not seen Dallas with Jop in the starting lineup, this was a brazen move by Avery Johnson. He take Dampier out, sit him down, bring in Jop, and then Jop is doing such a fantastic job because he is challenging everything. Already 3 blocks.
55-48, Mavericks by 7. We played 2 minutes here in the 3rd. Howard banks it in. Howard 9 points, 5 rebounds. And the Mavericks lead back up to 9. And Greg Popovich not happy with the start of the 3rd quarter. Quickly calls timeout.
Yeah, I like that timeout. You just can't let it get away in this building. This is a very difficult building to play on. How about that little crossover move? Put Howard back on his heels, take it strong. Now the ability to play the glass.
The NBA playoffs on ABC Sports, brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. The new AT&T, your world delivered. The new thriller, Waist Deep, in theaters everywhere June 23rd. And Nike Basketball.
Dallas, Texas, where the Mavericks lead by 9. Avery Johnson knows that Dirk Nowitzki is his all-star, is his best player, but he also knows how important Josh Howard is. In fact, feels as Josh Howard goes, so does the Mavericks.
The games where he was inconsistent last year, we were inconsistent as a basketball team. The games where he's consistent on both ends, we're pretty good. We really move, I think, from just a mediocre team to a very good team. So, and it's a lot has to do with Josh and the way he can play defense, the way he can score. Even in the playoffs last year, it wasn't Dirk that carried us. It was the Josh Howards of the world and Jason Terry. So his role is significant for him to get out and play good basketball.
He does it all, but when he scores 20-plus, they don't lose. 19-0 during the regular season, most wins ever when a guy scores 20-plus without a loss, and they're 2-0 in the playoffs when he's hit the 20-point mark. So valuable at both ends of the floor. as a kick ball there. Let's go back to Lisa.
Well, Mike, here's a little something about Josh Howard's character. He was one of 22 players who were invited to participate, to try out for the U.S. men's national basketball team, and he turned down the invitation. He said that the timing just didn't work out. It interfered with his annual basketball camp that he has in Winston-Salem every year for about 150 underprivileged kids. I said, but Josh, it's the Olympics. He said, but it's the kids. They need me more. Mike?
He's very close as Parker misses. Very close with his family and his friends back in Winston-Salem, as you said. Very close. He's got a grandmother that was a big part of raising him back there. And he's a guy that's worked hard to get where he is. Yumi, when he went to Wake Forest, he was just another player. He worked so hard under Skip Prosser, he became the ACC Player of the Year by the time he left.
Great growth. And then also in his first 3 years here, Mike, the jump from year to year to year in the points scored. But the big thing is he's an all-around player. He's an excellent defender, rebounder, and then an intangible guy.
Great pass, Ori to Duncan. And Duncan with a nice hands has 17. Lead cut to 7. He is part of the young, athletic, aggressive Dallas Mavericks. Again, they play at both ends of the floor. Duncan got a piece of it. Howard thought he got a piece of his arm. He's yelling at Joe Crawford. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, he sure is. But once again, we said early in this game, Duncan is very active, coming and helping out on the drivers going to the basket.
Duncan, tough drive. Tim Duncan makes it a 5-point game again.
Makes it look awful easy also, Mike. You know, coming across and he's going up over the top of Jop, who already has 3 blocks.
He is playing terrific basketball in the playoffs. Looks rejuvenated, but just now putting it all on the line. For that time, commits the foul. As Duncan picks up his 3rd.
Now at halftime, Timmy Duncan was shooting 50%. Now this is just a great look as he freezes Jop down inside. Now right down here, this is just a beautiful play the basket, baby hook shot. Now Pop gave us a great bit of advice there. You can see right here, this is the problem now. When Duncan is the only big man on the floor, you have to be careful that he does not get in foul trouble. Whereas in previous years, if you had Nasteric Muhammad in there, you could go for the shot blocking, you could go for the rebounding, offensive rebounding, and then Duncan could find his way. But here, you know, there's a big priority on him now, Mike, to make the rotation and then go for the block, because they are a small club out there.
But he picks up his 3rd foul instead. Nowitzki, meanwhile, has already taken 14 free throws. Back up 7. Parker goes at Nowitzki, can't get it to fall. Ori nearly tips it in with the left hand. Scramble for the ball. It's like a rugby match, and they'll jump it up.
Tony Parker going on the baseline from the left side of the floor. That's available. Anytime that they throw in or he cuts with the basketball, he's been able to get to the rim. Now, with the rotation, you can count on it tonight. The good defensive teams, you know they're going to rotate. Well, when your man leaves you to go, you're a big man. You've got to get to the front of the rim. And then if there's a missed shot, that you're there for the offensive rebound and a chance to score.
Nowitzki, nice save. Here comes Terry.
Now, good transition defense by the Spurs. Oh, back it out and take him.
Terry goes right at Duncan. High off the glass. Ready play from Jason Terry. He's got 12.
Yeah, see, he and Harris, they do that well. They get that mismatch. They're going to back you out, level it off to make sure they have the big man in front of them, and then take him strong to the basket.
Once again, the starting backcourt for Dallas playing well. Ori drives. Crowd wanted a carry or a travel. Instead, there's a foul on Nowitzki. That's his 1st. And Robert Ori will shoot 2.
So I'm happy to see that Ori is very active in this 3rd quarter. He only had 1 shot attempt in the 1st quarter, in the entire first half. Now that's a strong move. Now he came out earlier, shot the ball, made a miss, ran the ball down, and then also attacked the basket. This guy has got to come alive in this series points-wise. He's got to get some points.
Ori, who was a free agent this offseason, he almost signed with the Dallas Mavericks. They actually offered him more money. His agent typically wanted him to take the Bucks, but he enjoyed what happened last year in San Antonio, getting that 6th ring, and has fit in so nicely. Now in the starting lineup in the postseason. Big shot Bob, of course, he's hit so many big threes for all the different teams during his postseason career. And brings the Spurs within 8. 4 this series will be Monday night back here in Dallas. Spurs trying to regain the home court advantage. Although both these teams have shown they can win on the road. Nice shot inside and a foul. Nowitzki with a pretty setup. And Sagana Diop with a chance for a 3-point play.
That was a beautiful play. As soon as Nowitzki caught the ball, he looked immediately to his left. Now just watch. Here, watch the double team and then the cut right down the middle of the lane, right there. The man leaves you to go to the basket. The double team, you cut right to the front of that rim.
Sagana Diop, who went right from high school, Oak Hill Academy, to the NBA in his 5th year in the league, his first 4 years with the Cavs. This is his first year with Dallas. He was injured. He was overweight in Cleveland, got himself in terrific shape, signed a free agent deal, a 3-year deal here in Dallas. And he's been a good shot blocker, inserted into the starting lineup, an active defender.
Mike, it's about time that he matured and he got a work ethic because he dropped 30 pounds. Now you can say he did it on his own, or we're going to say it that they told him you're going to lose the 30 pounds. I kind of think it might be the latter.
I would agree.
Yeah. He looks terrific.
He's always shown an ability when he's been healthy. Ginobili right at Nowitzki. Duncan with the soft touch.
See, Ginobili's struggling with his shot, but that's okay. He's making things happen. He's getting down in there. If he doesn't get fouled, even if he misses the shot, 2 guys are picking him up, and that opens up the offensive board.
Duncan's had a couple of tips off his misses as Ori. Nice sportsmanship after the loose ball foul, but that's 4 on Robert Ori. 3rd team foul against San Antonio. And Michael Finley's going to quickly check back in. Avery Johnson's so fiery on the sidelines. Finley getting booed.
Now, right now, San Antonio, very small. All right, you have Finley now playing Nowitzki, okay? So he's playing the power forward position for you.
Terry. And Parker the rebound. Finley booed, but it wasn't really his choice leaving. He was part of the amnesty clause that was let go as a free agent. The Mavericks are still paying him, although he signed a new free agent deal with San Antonio.
I think he did a decent job while he was here, Mike. Come on.
He was a big part of the turnaround. This team was, for so many years, such a bad team. And Finley was here through some of the bad years, and then was here through some of the good years as well. He was a very good player, played on 2 All-Star teams. 3 different times he led the NBA in minutes played. He gave it his all when he was here. A very good, hard-working player.
A shade under 20, Mike. A shade under 20 points. And playing either the 2-guard position or small forward, he gets you 5+ rebounds. He's a terrific teammate and a guy who plays hard the majority of nights. And we all know that he's a good defender. Young in his career, he would really attack the basket and get on the foul line. I just loved his game.
Parker gets in the paint. Duncan got pushed from behind. Duncan looks over at the official, and Nowitzki got away with one. And Tim Duncan had in some game 23 points. Mavericks lead cut to 7. Ginobili on Nowitzki. Left-handed.
Pretty, and he got hit. Yeah, he was looking for the call because he got hit right across the face. See, they know that San Antonio's switching on that high screen. And they just take their time. They get the mismatch, and then they're taking you to the basket.
You see the patience in Nowitzki's game. Got a double-double. Ginobili. Nice fake from Manu Ginobili. He's been struggling, just 3 of 11. But that again brings the Spurs within 7.
Now the Cardinal rule, come out of the trap, make the first pass. If it's not wide open, make the second pass. You make that second pass, you're open.
Harris goes at Duncan.
Come on now, just take him. You get what you want.
Underneath. And Duncan tips it out to Parker. Finley.
Pretty.
Can't get it to fall. And Nowitzki with his 11th rebound.
Yeah, that was a tough move. A strong move.
Terry. Over Bowen. Jason Terry with 14 points.
6 for 10. You step back from all of this, Mike, and you just say, what a great move by Avery Johnson by putting Harris and Terry in that starting lineup. They have been dynamite in game 2 and again here this evening.
Parker throws it away. Again, Avery Johnson using the film that Lisa Salters talked about earlier, of watching the regular season matchups between the Mavericks and the Spurs. And watching those games, he saw, you know what, our lineup out there, it wasn't going to work in the playoffs. I needed to make changes, and the Harris change is the one he made after game 1.
The big thing there, when you do that, Mike, and you win 60 games, you're not worrying about, bruising the ego of some players. The players have all accepted their roles, and he said that is what made it go. You have to have players with talent, then you have to have players who can accept the adjustments of the coaching staff. The players coachable, everybody's happy.
Although Johnson was telling us part of his coaching philosophy, he likes to get feedback from players. He feels it's a very important part of the job now. The game has certainly changed, Ubi.
Yeah, but I can't believe in our modern society anybody successful who's coaching, whatever the sport is, you're constantly bouncing things off your players, especially the players with the high basketball IQs.
Ginobili, nice move to the basket. Stackhouse.
That was nice. Little bump to create the space.
Duncan has his double-double. 23 points, 10 rebounds. Duncan against Dampier. Makes the drive, foul before. And Mavs not on the penalty yet. Manu Ginobili starting to get untracked a little bit, Ubi.
Yeah, we said he's active tonight. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit on his shot, but he's attacking, and that's all you want from him, because he'll get fouled, he'll get to the foul line for you, and even if he misses shots, you're going to have a chance to get to the offensive boards because the ball will be coming off in a short area.
Parker drags his pivot foot. Duncan on the leaner.
Oh, boy.
And it's back to a 5-point game, 25 for Tim Duncan. Crowd felt that Parker dragged that pivot foot, should have been called for travel. So one guy sitting courtside who is just killing the refs on every call and non-call. His fans have been great. It's become one of the real fun arenas in the NBA. Nowitzki, contested shot. Dampier, the offensive board. Still Dallas ball. And we'll have a timeout. We're just over 2.5 remaining in the third. Spurs slowly again creeping back in. They're only down 5.
You're watching ABC Sports.
Oh, baby! With the left hand.
Home of the NBA Finals.
Game 3 from Dallas. Mavericks leading the Spurs by 5. Time for another example of the Coors Light freeze cam. Talk about Dirk Nowitzki and his unselfish play. Ubi.
Well, he's coming along on the baseline and he posts up. So he's coming from the right side of the floor to the left. Now, as soon as he puts it down, you can see the double team. Duncan coming to back. There it is. And then what happens? Jop goes right down the middle, and that is the easiest way to score when you get a post-man double teaming, sending that guy strong to the rim. Now, you have to like Nowitzki's game so far tonight. You can see he's been to the line 14 times. He's got the 8 points, but how about the 11 rebounds?
This is the stars of the NBA tonight, like Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, Steve Nash, LeBron James. All these big players, they're all so unselfish. They don't force the action on most nights, and that's what really provides success for so many of these teams.
Yeah, but you're talking about guys that are playing in winning situations, and that's what makes winning situations healthy. The unselfish star player who will give it up, especially when a guy is wide open.
Duncan, of course, that way with San Antonio as Howard flips it in.
They got to get Howard going here right now, get him some looks. And then also when Daniels comes in the game, he's another player who can put some quick numbers up for you with that second unit.
Finley and Stackhouse. Tough shot from Finley. Knocks it down. He's hit a lot of those shots here in this building.
Well, familiar corner. Oh, bad pass. Bad pass here now.
11 turnovers for Dallas, just 8 for San Antonio.
2 minutes.
Parker looking for some room on the jump shot. Too long, but Alberto right there for the offensive board.
Yeah, good hustle. Good hustle by Alberto. I told you, when he comes in the game, he's got to sacrifice himself and just get to the glass and take the punishment. You cannot be a good offensive rebounder without contact. You're going to have a lot of contact.
Finley, the quick shot. Can't get it to fall, and Howard with another rebound. Minute and a half left in the third.
He handles the ball so well. So when he rebounds, he can take the middle of the break. That frees up your guards to get up the floor.
Harris on the penetration. Alberto, good help defense. Harris gets it back. They stop momentarily.
That was nice. It was nice because even though nothing happened in his first move to try to create, that he was smart enough to recover quickly and then take it into the face of the center.
And a foul away from the ball. That Ginobili shot won't count. It's called on Jerry Stackhouse. And Spurs will take it out.
Now just keep an eye on this. See, he gets down in here. He's not afraid of the contact. Nothing happens. He takes a look at it. I'm coming right back into your face. Now, what a game he's having. 6 field goals. Beautiful. And then right across the board. Getting to the foul line, 4 for 5 on the line.
Showing some real poise as Daniels comes in and Harris will sit down. Second leading scorer with the 16.
There are 2 nice young players at that 2-guard position, Mike. 2 guys. Devin is quick off the dribble. Then when you come with Daniels, Daniels can do a number of things for you and score points quickly.
Loose ball foul call against the Mavericks. So Alberto and his hard work on the boards contributing to that, and they're in the penalty. And that's 4 fouls on Josh Howard.
Now just keep an eye right here now. See, he's working. Now you can see they just threw him right out of there. No question. That was an easy call for the baseline ref.
So Alberto to the line with under a minute remaining in the third. Reminder, tomorrow on ABC, Game 4 between the Heat and the Nets from Jersey. Miami leading 2-1. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern on ABC. And then tomorrow night on TNT from Los Angeles, Clippers will try and even things up in Game 4 against the Phoenix Suns, 7:30 Eastern.
Now, for the fan out there who, remembers Argentina won the gold in the last Olympics, Alberto and then Ginobili are starters. Nocioni, who starts for the Chicago Bulls, and then also Delfino, who's a bench player for Detroit. So 4 of the players off of that team playing in the NBA.
So many international players now in the league, and of course in the playoffs, big parts of their teams. Dampier making his move on Alberto, and there's the foul. And you look at all the international players, and it grows year in and year out. And look just for the San Antonio Spurs, and you have to take a lot of pride in that. All the clinics that you've done around the world throughout your years is a big part of bringing the NBA basketball around the world.
Well, it's nice of you to say that, but there have been a ton of coaches who unselfishly have gone overseas for years. And then it depended upon the countries that wanted the emphasis of the game. Then the European clinics that go with the European championships. And then what happened is the Far East opened up. And there have been so many coaches, unselfishly who have gone abroad to teach the game. And then, naturally, it's benefited all the world of FIBA basketball. No doubt about it.
And that's a big part of what we've seen in World Championships and Olympic play. And the rest of the world has caught up to the United States in terms of basketball knowledge and ability. Was happening a slow process. And Argentina winning the gold medal.
Well, so many of those countries had to get off of the soccer bit, Mike, okay? Or the football, okay?
Parker, who was a good soccer player when he was young, draws the foul. And he'll shoot a couple of free throws. Parker getting to the paint. He's 0 for 5 from the field in the third quarter. Here's P.J. Carlesimo, the assistant coach with Greg Popovich. Here's Parker hits the first.
They just need Tony to hit one of his streaks, that's all. He's one of the best streaky players that we have. We know that he creates for San Antonio, but he's not a big assist guy. By big, we mean 8, 9, or 10 assists. He's going to be solid, above 5, but his big thing is the finish, because he's one of the truly best penetrating perimeter players that we have in the game who can get inside that paint and finish.
They've made it tough on him. The high shooting percentage in the regular season, not the case in this series. Meanwhile, Darrell Armstrong, the 37-year-old, checking in for a brief appearance. And a nice ovation, big fan favorite in a long time. Hustle player.
Here comes that switch again.
Parker's on Nowitzki.
Yeah, see, they know that. And I'm surprised that Nowitzki is staying high.
Armstrong, Nowitzki steps back. The high arcing shot. Ginobili gets the air ball. Final seconds, third quarter. And a blocking foul on Armstrong. As Ginobili a little out of control, but drew the foul, and Armstrong shaken up.
Yes, he is. Now, Ginobili was really motoring. That was a collision. That was a hard collision. And just keep an eye on this. Just watch. See, they catch it right there. Knee to knee.
Well, that's close. It looked like Armstrong was moving a little bit. He didn't have to move.
No, but you know what? The referee, Judge Rose, it was right there. He had a good look at it. It was right in front of him.
Armstrong limps over to the benches. Ginobili goes to the line. He's perfect from the line this afternoon. Ginobili last year in the postseason on the route to the championship averaged just under 21 a game. Really helped out Tim Duncan in the scoring department. But again, he's been banged up all year and has admitted that he has not been able to find a consistent rhythm.
Let's check the scoreboard, Mike. Okay, I mean, is this amazing? They're back.
It's a 4-point game. Terry, final seconds.
Come on, you have plenty of time.
Terry, that'll count if it goes. And just off the rim, Terry upset with himself. And that will end the third quarter. Again, Dallas went up by double figures, but San Antonio finishes strong. And the two All-Stars with some big performances, both with double-doubles here in the all-important Game 3. In a series that tied at 1 game apiece. We head to the fourth quarter. It's a 4-point game. As this presentation of the NBA playoffs on ABC will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Quality entertainment at the American Airlines Center. Meanwhile, Lost, the show that became a national obsession. This Wednesday, it's the last all-new episode before the season finale. Discover the unforeseen, the unexplained, and the unexpected. Lost, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central, only on ABC. Fourth quarter set to begin. Game 3 of this Western Conference semifinals. Two teams that had 60-plus wins during the regular season. The two best teams in the Western Conference. It's all even at 1 game apiece. They split the first two in San Antonio. Dallas has led almost the entire game, but the Spurs hanging in there as we begin the fourth.
Well, we told you early in the game, the Spurs have the #1 road record in the league, 29 wins.
And Marquise Daniels, again, part of that excellent bench of the Dallas Mavericks.
Now, he's a talented guy, Mike. He can take you off the dribble, he can post up. He's got a mid-range jump shooting game, but he's accustomed to scoring.
Duncan has put up big numbers. Kicked by Daniels, so they'll reset the shot clock at 14.
I like the game plan by Avery Johnson and his staff. You know, they're going right at Duncan. They're going to force Duncan. They're not going to allow him to hurt them down in the low post area. They're coming at him quick now, trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Ginobili goes to the basket and a foul. It's going to go against Dampier for his aggressiveness on Tim Duncan as we go to Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, Avery Johnson just told his team as they start the fourth quarter, he said, look, we got to get out in transition. If you see a chance, you got to go for it. But more importantly, our goal now, Johnson said, is we got to get in the bonus first. It's something that Hubie Brown says all the time. We got to get in the bonus first. Mike?
They've been getting to the free throw line, Lisa, in this series. Finley with 3 on the shot clock. Duncan is going to have to put it up. Just gets it off in time and knocks it down.
That's where he's so dangerous. He takes you out there. He can go out to 21, 22 feet and knock in that shot, shoot a high percentage. Now, you like what Avery is saying. He needs some misses, fast break baskets. They're winning the fast break game 15-5.
Stackhouse, ball deflected out of bounds. Still Dallas ball. It was kicked. So they should reset the shot clock. It currently says 9.
Now, San Antonio has come back in this game for a number of reasons. Number one, they kept Dallas off the foul line. Dallas right now only has been to the line 28 times. Now, that's number one. Number two, they have forced the turnovers. Dallas already has 11. Now, remember, coming in, they were only averaging 9 for the first 2 games.
They did reset the shot clock at 14. Now it's winding down to 6. Daniels looks up.
Oh, come on. Now, you have to go to Dirk, right?
And Daniels long on the shot. Nowitzki had the mismatch.
Yeah, Mike, come on. Van Exel, they're switching off. You got Van Exel on Nowitzki. You cannot miss that. You've got to get the ball back over and in.
Duncan to Bowen. Ginobili on the drive, inside, and a foul. And the Spurs suddenly within 2.
He's looking good. All right, he's going hard to the basket. And you just love it when guys are doing that. We have Devin Harris at one end, and now you have Ginobili at the other. And now he's got the confidence he's feeling. He's in a little bit of a rhythm now that he's getting to the hole. In the first half, he was missing shots, but he was getting fouled and getting to the line.
The Spurs have trailed by as many as 13. It was an 11-point deficit in the third quarter. It is suddenly a 1-point game. They have methodically gotten back into the game.
That's right. You bring out that point, Mike. You know, when you win 29 games on the road, you're #1 team. You've been in a ton of these type of games.
Anxious moments by the crowd. Finley knocks it away from Harris. Gets it back.
Yeah, Billy Spooner called that it was a loose ball.
Terry for 3.
Nice.
Big shot from Jason Terry.
He needed that. Now that is the first 3-point make for Dallas. They are 1 for 4 in threes.
Hard to believe a team that used to just jack up threes just years ago. They've changed their game.
When you did a game here, you had to hold on to your chair.
Finley misses the 3. Bowen tracks it down, but he stepped out of bounds. Dallas ball.
Now let's keep an eye here now. Now watch to the left. See Dirk. He's taking the traps. He's not fighting the trap. What he is doing is looking for the free man.
The crowd back into it again. Nowitzki hard to the basket, draws the foul on Duncan. Good aggressive move from Dirk Nowitzki as Duncan picks up his 4th.
No, there's no way, Mike. No way that Finley can play Nowitzki at that area. Okay, because he's so dangerous. Now, if you're going to channel him to an area, then that rotating guy has got to be there earlier. And that's dangerous because now you are leaving the offensive player on the low box. So, you know, it takes a lot of coordination of people there. Not just one guy making the move, but then the other player coming down in to help Duncan pick up Duncan's man.
Duncan, again, 4 fouls. Nowitzki, he's only 3 of 9 from the field. This will be his 15th and 16th free throw attempt of the game. Although that's his 3rd miss. The big numbers from Tim Duncan. Nowitzki has matched him in rebounds. Five-point game. Just over 2.5 gone by here in the 4th. Ginobili. Duncan left open, and Duncan can't get it to fall. And a foul on Ginobili after Nowitzki's rebound. Manu Ginobili picks up his 2nd. Greg Popovich not happy with the call.
Now this is an opportunity for Dallas to step out, Mike. Now keep an eye in right here. Boom. Now right there, they were saying that they should have been a loose ball foul on Nowitzki over the top of Ginobili. See, there's your switch again. See, they keep getting that time and time again.
Stackhouse, foul on Van Exel. And the Spurs.
Remember what we say, Mike, you do not want to get into the penalties. You have to stay away from the ticky-tack fouls.
And that's the 3rd team foul already. And we're just over 3 minutes into this 4th quarter.
I'm making some noise. I've been a worried boy. I'll let the top of my voice say, look at me, mama, I'm making some noise.
195th consecutive sellout. These fans love their Mavericks, who lead by 5, with just over 3 minutes gone by in the 4th. Our city storyline is the same problem from Game 2, UB, for the Spurs.
Well, you know, in the first quarter, they were getting to the basket easily. Now they just got to continue to get good spacing, keep taking the Spurs strong to the hole. Put the pressure on Duncan. We all realize right now that Duncan has 4 fouls. So you know that he cannot attack every single guy going to the rim. But you need good spacing.
And Greg Popovich right now not with confidence in Rasho Nesterovic and Nazem Muhammad, two of his bigger players, going with the smaller lineup. Also because Dallas goes with a smaller lineup. Part of the chess match that goes on.
Right, that's right. Now, you know, we know in the past 7 years, they always played the two big guys. Oh, good steal.
Barry. Oh, it's not a backcourt.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. Go, give us your referees.
Because both feet and the ball have to be over before it's a backcourt violation.
True or false?
Right. Barry kicks it out to Bowen. And Bowen hits the three. Bowen with his first points of the game. And it brings San Antonio within 2.
Now, throughout the playoffs, you know, Bowen has been doing an excellent job. He's been shooting it at 57%. Now, that is only the 3rd three-point make in this entire game.
Oh, what a move from Harris. Beautiful play.
Just give this guy some room. Just give him some room, whether it's from the top of the circle or a clear-out baseline move. Hit him on the wing and let him go, because he is just blowing by people.
But he faked out Tim Duncan, who is a terrific defender. And Harris having another big game. Bowen off the dribble. Duncan, the offensive rebound, banks it in.
That's where he's so dangerous. Yeah, the size with the long arms. You can have inside position on Duncan just like that situation, but he's up. He has outstanding timing.
29 for Duncan. Harris does it again. But this time a little short. This kid is terrific.
Oh, yes, it is. And that change of direction, it's like a heartbeat.
Once again, back to Duncan. And Duncan fouled. Jot reaching in the act of shooting, so 2 free throws.
Now, this is good basketball for San Antonio. This was their game plan early. Go inside out. Give Duncan the looks. Make him go at Jot. Make him go at Dampier. Force the double teams. The perimeter game will open up for you. Most of the ball, Duncan will get to the line if he doesn't get a high percentage shot.
Duncan 3 of 5 from the free throw line tonight. Can tie the game. Spurs trying to climb back from a 13-point deficit. Duncan having another terrific game. He's scoring big in this series. He's hit the 30-point mark.
You look at his stats all the way across the board, very impressive. Way up over 50%.
Numbers that you expect to see from him in the postseason, though.
But this is the spot that Timmy's got to do. He's got to make the pressure foul shots here this evening.
Terry, tough shot. And he draws the foul on Parker. Spurs saying that Terry pushed off.
I thought that Terry was in a terrible position. That was really difficult. Right now, the referee, Spooner is trying to explain it to Tony. Tony's saying that the forearm came out and moved me.
So Terry will go to the line. Jason Terry in his 7th year in the league. First 5 years with the Atlanta Hawks. A lot of losses, no playoffs. But he used to go to playoff games in person. In fact, one year he went to 30 playoff games. He wanted to experience it. He also went to a lot of NBA Finals games and finally got his first chance in the postseason last year with the Dallas Mavericks. Getting a chance now. A young man who grew up in Seattle, was one of 10 kids. He was the 2nd oldest. He took care of a lot of his younger siblings, walked them to school. He said he changed diapers when he was barely out of diapers. Very mature and is playing well for the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, he's found the home here.
Duncan, Parker, Finley, Bowen off the dribble with the left hand.
When that rotate, you make that second pass, that rotation guy has got to sprint, and you could see what happened. Give him the ball fake, take him off the dribble right to the basket. Beautiful reaction by Bruce Bowen.
Bowen, who's made Nowitzki really work hard for his points, now scoring himself here in the 4th. Stackhouse forcing the action. There is Stackhouse. He's got 8 points.
Mike, how about the angle? I mean, it looked like he put that around the corner of the board.
Stackhouse has always been able to score.
Yeah, I like this emphasis. They're really putting a lot of pressure on the defense here.
Finley takes it to the rack and banks it in.
See, that's good, smart basketball. They are putting pressure. They're forcing Dallas to make big decisions. Do you go at Duncan before he dribbles, or do you go at him after he makes the first dribble?
Both teams now making shots. Bowen switches.
Oh, no, come on, you have Parker on Nowitzki.
Howard drives. Bad pass. Barry with the steal.
Oh, look out here.
Parker the advantage. Back for Bowen. And the Spurs with their first lead since the opening minutes.
Mike, great team play. See, you cannot continue to miss that mismatch. Come on, when they have a point guard on Dirk Nowitzki, Nowitzki's got to go down into the post area. You just can't stay outside. That's an advantage to the defense.
Not taking advantage of the mismatch as Bowen is called for his 4th foul. Greg Popovich doesn't like the call, but he likes the comeback as they force the turnover here.
Now, this is just a great reaction by Ginobili getting that pass out, and then a beautiful read by Tony Parker.
They've come back from 13 down to take the lead with 5.5 to play.
The NBA playoffs on ABC Sports, brought to you by Nestle Crunch and the Sharp Aquas HD Liquid Crystal Television. There's always more to see.
5.5 to play, 4th quarter of Game 3. The Spurs leading by 1. Tim Duncan, big numbers. He didn't have his usual numbers during the regular season, but in some ways it was one of his more impressive years. Battering that plantar fasciitis all season long. He only had 2 30-point games during the regular season. For anyone who's ever had it, it's a very painful injury, but he didn't complain. He played 80 games. And Greg Popovich said he's paced himself. Now he's playing all out.
Well, I like what Pop did, especially on back-to-back nights. Timmy only played 34 minutes a game. It's the first time in his career that he has not averaged over 20 points. The rebounding was there and the shot blocking was there, but naturally the lack of shot attempts because of the lack of minutes. But he was fresh and ready to go here once we started the playoffs.
He led the Spurs in scoring the previous 7 seasons. This year it was Parker who carried the load. But again, Duncan did so many things in helping the team win a franchise record 63 during the regular season.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, right? Because, we're talking about it, we think they had a bad year. Yeah, I mean, really.
Second best record in the NBA behind Detroit. Dallas regains the lead with Harris free throws. Another 20-point game for David Harris. Back-to-back for the second-year point guard. Ginobili on the drive, foul, won't go. Shot doesn't count. As Nowitzki called, just his 2nd foul.
Mike, when they come out of that double team and they throw the ball to either Ginobili or when Finley was in there, they're attacking. They're attacking your rotation. And they usually are getting a big man on them, and it's easy for them to get to the rim.
And Ginobili, again, struggled early shooting, but now getting to the basket.
Everything about beating the double team is your spacing of the floor. You cannot allow a defensive player to play 2 offensive guys. You spread them out, the defense is at your mercy.
Ginobili 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Always free throws so important in the postseason there.
You have Bowen now on Nowitzki. Oh, off his foot.
Nowitzki gets it back, falls down, out of bounds. A loose ball foul is going to be called on Barry. And again, the Spurs and the penalty.
Yeah, Dirk is smarting right now. His right knee. Keep an eye on it now. You got to see. Now, Bruce is bumping him right up there. Now, watch this right here. See, I don't know about the trip. I don't think,
there was contact. There was they were contact, both going for the ball.
Yeah, but, the signal was that it was a trip. There was not a trip. And then you can see now, Nowitzki, his right knee, he's smarting. There's no doubt about it.
So Nowitzki with the big numbers again, rebounding-wise. That's his 17th free throw attempt of the afternoon, of the evening. And it ties the game with just under 5 to play.
Well, you try to tell players, if you're having a tough night, go to the basket. He's 3 for 9 from the field, and then he's on the line right now. And, you bring out a great point, Mike. You can help your team in other ways, because when you're getting fouled and you're going to the line 18 times, they're getting fouls on some of their front court people. So then you need substitutions.
Parker, open lane.
Remember what we said? The left side of the floor is open for Tony on the baseline. It's been there, Mike, since the 2nd quarter.
The Spurs shooting extremely well here in the fourth quarter. 8 from 11 from the field. Harris, the little floater, comes up short. Nowitzki, another board, and draws the foul on Duncan. That's his 5th.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Yeah, that's just hustle. You know, offensive rebounding in the NBA is all about work. It's all about taking physical punishment. Shot goes up, you get blocked out. You see, then there's going to be contact. And when you get down in there with these 7-foot people, when they hit you with an elbow, when they're trying to knock you off your spot, you know, you get blasted. You know, you just can't go in there, you know, and think that it's going to be easy.
Duncan tends to disagree with a lot of the fouls called against him, but he didn't do a heck of a lot there. He might have a legitimate beef with Nowitzki. Once again, back to the line. 22 and 14 for Dirk Nowitzki. There's the numbers for Duncan. Now 1 foul away from disqualification. But he's a smart player. He knows how to play with 5 fouls. Some coaches might take a guy out, although with 4:19 you can't take a chance.
No, with 4 minutes to go in a game like this, you're going to ride your horse.
Pretty good horse to ride.
That's exactly right.
Duncan spinning. Count it, and a foul. The horse with a chance for a 3-point play.
That's exactly right. That was a triple team. That was a triple team because he's still hot about that last call. Let's keep an eye on this. Just watch how quick. He dribbles into it. He sees the double coming, and then all of a sudden there was eyes, boom, right up off the glass.
Dampier, his 5th foul. Duncan is trying to distract him behind the basket. The Mavericks fans. And Duncan gives the Spurs a 2-point lead. That's their largest of the game, as they've trailed almost the entire game before taking a lead here in the fourth quarter. We're under the 4-minute mark. Series tied at 1 apiece.
All right, now you got Parker on Nowitzki. If you just go low, I mean, there's no way Parker can take and disrupt the pass to him.
Bowen the save, but right to Terry. The ball tipped in by Dampier.
Great move. I'll tell you what, the fact that Jason Terry hit the rim, that was terrific, because he had an awkward position, an awkward angle on his release.
Dampier was just his 2nd bucket, but a big one to tie the game. Duncan drives again and flips it in. 35 for Tim Duncan. Duncan takes a spill.
Yes, indeed, by his own man. That was a little collision there.
Harris on the drive, and a blocking foul called on Parker. Boy, Devin Harris so quick off the dribble.
You cannot forget about Harris. I'll just keep an eye here. This is just good basketball. You see right there, you say, why did he shoot so fast? Because the clock was going down. And then Dampier coming in. Now just watch this. The big fella is going right at you. Now he's doing everything. He turns, faces, bank shot. He takes it in the hole. He's going baseline with his left move. Then he's coming into the paint. He's showing you, so he's never doing 2 things back to back, that you get into a comfort zone on how to play him.
Greg Popovich calls timeout. Harris hits the first free throw. He's got another one coming up. 3:16 remaining. The series that's tied at 1 apiece. The Spurs cling to a 1-point lead.
I like the way you...
This best-of-7 series tied at 1 apiece. The numbers say Game 3 winner has certainly the edge, although these 2006 playoffs have seen a couple of teams lose after winning Game 3. Now this one again, you beat both teams so good on the road, but San Antonio so good, best in the NBA in these close games.
Yeah, closing you out. Now, Mike, think about the first 3 quarters. San Antonio Spurs struggled 30% to 32% in the first half. Third quarter, they got it up to 40. Well, in the fourth quarter, they are 10 for 13 in field goals. Now, that's big-time execution. But if you think about it, that's when they started to go to Duncan every single time down the floor.
Devin Harris, 20 points in Game 2, 22 in Game 3, and he's 8 for 9 from the line.
Now, this is the first time we've seen them come down the floor.
Barry for 3! Brent Barry rips it from downtown, and the Spurs by 3.
That's the one guy that you cannot leave. Come on, you know the guy's shooting over 50% in threes in the playoffs. You cannot leave Brent Barry.
Made that big three-pointer against Sacramento, and a foul will go against the Spurs. It looked like Joey Crawford was going to call it against Dallas. Billy Swinner comes out, and more free throws And Ginobili picks up his third.
Mike, once again, angle. Now just see right there, they were pressing down the floor. Now, when you get into a zone type of matchup, you cannot leave the corners open, especially if the man playing the dribbler is not going to stop the dribble and he's going to channel you. He channeled him right into that pass to the corner.
Brent Barry hitting some big shots in the playoffs. He was almost traded. They were very close to dealing him to New Orleans at the trading deadline. And I'm glad they haven't, as Barry's hit some big postseason shots for them. Howard misses the first. Under 3 to play.
Now here they are. Here they are again. They're in the 2-2-1. You know, it's kind of passive. They're not trapping hard. All they're trying to do is get you to slow down.
Nice pass. Parker fell down. And Greg Popovich upset. There was some contact, and that's why Duncan's pass went out of bounds.
Well, defensive on the angle of the ref. Now, you know, Spooner was right there. He was very close to that collision.
Harris, good defense from Bowen. Harris gets past him, blocked, but a foul. And Harris will go back to the line again as Bowen.
Now this young man, he can get to the rim every single time that he has the basketball.
Let's see that last play again on Parker.
Now keep an eye right in the middle. You see he's going right here. No, well, I don't know about that. Now, if you're going to call that, it depends upon the angle whether you thought that he was stripped.
Harris comes right back and hits another free throw. This young man really shining in this series. Only 23 years old. Played again 3 years at Wisconsin before being the first-round draft pick. Tie game. Just under 2.5 to play. And the fans here at the American Airlines Center back on their feet. They're looking for Duncan.
Yeah, they're going to work him, and then the cut, and then see what you do on your trap. There's the quick trap.
Ginobili on the drive. Bowen took his eye off it. Back-to-back turnovers for the Spurs.
Well, that's why you trap the big man, get the ball out of his hand, and then what you do is you're gambling and hoping that there will be a missed shot or there could be a potential turnover.
Harris lost the dribble, got it back. Nowitzki back to Harris. That's a three. Way off an air ball. Yeah, the Spurs get it back with 1:46 remaining.
Mike, when they play the rest of the series, they continue to get a point guard on Nowitzki, okay, or a small player. Nowitzki's got to go down inside, throw him the basketball and let him work. He'll shoot up over the top of these people.
Coming down to the wire, the two best teams in the Western Conference this year. Duncan, Bowen,
nice look.
Ginobili on the drive, blocked from behind, but a foul. And Ginobili will shoot two.
If you think about any time that Ginobili or Finley has accepted a pass out of a double team in this half, they give the ball fake and they continue to attack the rim.
Oh, looked like that was clean.
Yeah.
Crowd reacting to the replay on the screen. Josh Howard upset.
Oh, one thing you cannot get here is a technical. Come on, just calm down here a second.
So Ginobili will shoot two. Ginobili perfect from the line tonight, 9 for 9. And he gives San Antonio a 1-point lead. Each team with plenty of timeouts remaining. They have 2 plus to 20. Neither team with a foul to give.
Mike, right now, Stackhouse came in the game for Dampier. So Nowitzki will be the center, and now they have 4 perimeter guys, all who can take you off the dribble.
Ginobili misses.
Now remember, both teams have 2 timeouts and a 20.
Almost everyone on their feet. Shot clock winding down. Nowitzki with Parker on him, drives hard to the basket, and he's fouled. If it's on Duncan, he's gone.
And Nowitzki is hurting here.
Nowitzki's shaken up.
Yeah, he sure is.
Joe Crawford hasn't made the call yet on whether it's on Duncan or not. And Tim Duncan is fouled out. So Duncan is gone. But Nowitzki is down and holding on to that right ankle.
Now, when they came off it, they got the switch, and now you have Parker playing Nowitzki. See, he's taking him right to the basket. All right, they're right there. There's the collision. Now, keep an eye to the left of your screen and look low. There it is.
Steps right on
stepped right on it. Right. Well, that's tough.
It looks like there was a lot of contact. And Nowitzki, if he can, will shoot 2 free throws. 1 point Spurs lead with just over a minute to play. Dirk Nowitzki stepping on the foot and turning his ankle. Stepping on the foot of Tim Duncan as he drew the foul going to the basket. You see that right foot go down. He was in a lot of pain. Took a while to get up. He'll come out and shoot the 2 free throws as Duncan is fouled out of the game.
Yeah, now look, Joey Crawford, the lead referee, is right to the left of your screen. He was right on top of that. There's definite contact there. Joey is right there, had a good angle and a good call.
Let's check in with Lisa.
Well, Mike, not a whole lot was said during that huddle, but Avery Johnson looked at Nowitzki and said, "Are you all right?" And Dirk just kind of shook his head and said, "Yeah, I can go." Nothing else was said. He's back out in the court.
If he didn't come out and shoot the free throws, he'd be done for the game. Couldn't come back in, and the Spurs would choose who shoots the free throws. Meanwhile, Duncan is gone with a great performance, 35 points and 12 rebounds. And now Nowitzki back to the line for the 21st time.
Now, as we go down the wire, the Spurs have 2 full timeouts in a 20. Dallas has 1 full timeout in a 20.
Nowitzki and Harris tied for the team lead at 24 points. Big free throws from Dirk Nowitzki.
Now, at this end, San Antonio, whoever Nowitzki plays, you cannot, he's going to play Bruce Bowen. You cannot take a jump shot. You get hit with the ball. You got to attack Nowitzki and take him to the rim.
Ginobili goes to the rim and banks it in. And the Spurs back up by 1.
Easy. Now he's playing with a ton of confidence this afternoon. His game is all together today.
Ginobili having a big 4th quarter, 8 of his 22 in the period. Parker on Nowitzki, triple team, finds Stackhouse. Stackhouse gets at the floor.
Great look by Dirk Nowitzki, and a terrific finish.
And a timeout called by San Antonio. A seesaw battle here in Game 3. The Spurs will have to win it without Tim Duncan, as both teams making big plays and hitting big shots down the stretch.
Now here's Ginobili at his best. He just stares you down, takes you, and comes with that little baby lefty hook. Now at the other end, watch the pass. That is just a terrific pass. Why? Because they're switching with a guard. He looks right over the top.
Dirk Nowitzki leading the Dallas Mavericks to a 1-point lead with 26.6 remaining. Nowitzki with that badly sprained ankle. Triple team, beautiful pass to Stackhouse. You can tell he's hurting, but he's hanging tough, Hubie.
Oh, that was a great look. Accepted the double team. You can see he's limping. You know, at the other end of the floor, that's why they have him matched up on Bowen. Will they go to Bowen and they'll attack off the dribble? I don't think so. I think they'll stay with Ginobili and Parker, their main 2 guys who can break your defense down.
This is what everyone expected when these 2 teams were matched up. 2 best teams in the Western Conference. It's been a terrific game. And right now, though, the Spurs have to win it without Tim Duncan, who has been their main man all night long.
Mike, the strategy today has been outstanding. The adjustments by both coaches. By San Antonio struggling early, Popovich played 10 guys looking for a rotation. And then at the other end, going small at both ends. It's been a beautiful chess match.
Each team with multiple timeouts. We've had 10 lead changes here in the 4th quarter alone.
Yeah, see, they're opening up the floor for Ginobili.
Ginobili, tough shot, and gets the bounce.
Oh, boy.
Manu Ginobili, 10 points here in the 4th quarter.
He goes to his right almost as well as he does going to his left. And that was beautiful. Pop isolated the top, opened up the middle of the floor, and then Ginobili surprised his defender by going strong to his right hand.
24 points from Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, see, they overplayed him on his left side. That's one thing with Ginobili. He can finish. It's a little awkward shot, but he's made that time and time again.
And Tim Duncan can only watch from the bench, but has confidence in his teammates. How about San Antonio, Yubi? 13 of 16 from the field here in the fourth quarter. At pressure time, they're making the pressure shots.
Well, we kept saying throughout the first 3 quarters, they were struggling, getting poor percentage looks. But think of the change of strategy. Once they hit that fourth quarter, everything was run through Duncan. And Duncan scored. He got to the foul line. He made big field goals. And then he would pass out. Something good would happen. So it's nice to see them getting back to their power game that they ran for so many years, winning 3 rings.
All right, now the shot clock obviously off with 17 seconds remaining. Dallas down by 1 with the ball. What do you expect to see from the Mavericks?
Well, you know, they're going to go with something which has been good to them. They know that every time that they run a high screen, that San Antonio is switching. Now it will come down to who they put into that screen. Now, we also know that if Nowitzki is in the screen, you know a point guard is going to be on him. It would surprise everybody if just once that they would slide him down in front of the basket in the paint or go to a post-up situation.
Dallas still has 1 timeout remaining. Remember, Nowitzki has the sprained ankle. Harris to Stackhouse. Spurs do not have a foul to give.
Oh, one-on-one.
Stackhouse, short. Nowitzki, the rebound, the putback. He's fouled. And Nowitzki will shoot 2 with 7.9 remaining.
Now that took a lot of nerve, all right? They said that they're going to go Jerry Stackhouse at the top, and he's going to take Ginobili in a one-on-one situation. And now Dirk with the bad ankle. How about the fact that he's on the offensive glass?
And that's where San Antonio misses Tim Duncan in that instance. Great game for Dirk Nowitzki. You look at the free throw attempts. Duncan fouling out late here in the fourth. Clutch free throws.
Now the Spurs are sitting on 1 full timeout and a 20.
The Mavericks 17 of 19 from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. They've now taken 47 for the game as Alberto comes in. Bowen will sit.
Now the Mavericks, you know, during 82 games during the regular season, you know, they're the 6th best foul shooting team in the league at 78%.
Spurs have 2 timeouts left, so if Nowitzki hits this, they can call it and advance the ball. Dirk Nowitzki gives the Mavs the lead. And San Antonio calls timeout. A seesaw battle here in the fourth. Back and forth. These 2 teams. The Dallas Mavericks, who won 60 games during the regular season, tying a franchise record. The Spurs, they set a franchise mark with 63 wins. And this is just game 3 of the series.
No, you like the strategy. You love the performance under pressure by the players. The key big guys who the pressure was on to deliver, they delivered today. Then the young stars were stepping up, and they made a big contribution. And we said at the top of the show, can San Antonio stop Harris and Terry? Both guards for Dallas came in with big games.
Of course, Manu Ginobili has been the key down the stretch.
Yes.
He's got 10 points in the period. Spurs have made their last 10 shots from the field. You expect them to get the ball in Ginobili's hands to create?
Well, they've done it consistently, Mike. The one thing is sometimes you go for the element of surprise because you know that Parker has also been able to score in this game, especially from the left side of the floor. Now, the pressure on the inbounds pass. Remember, if you cannot make the pass, you know, you still have a 20-second timeout. We also know that with the new rule this year, that you can pass the ball into the backcourt. The key is not to rush because you have 7.9 seconds. And then once that shot goes up, you know, no blood, no foul on that offensive glass, okay? Once that ball goes up.
The 2 good friends matched up here in this series. Again, San Antonio still has a timeout, so if they have trouble inbounding the ball, they can call time. You have 5 seconds to release the inbounds pass before it's a violation.
Now, right now, San Antonio has all perimeter people in there outside Ori. Ori's the only big man.
And they have to use the timeout. Good ball denial from Jerry Stackhouse. And now the Spurs are out of timeout.
Well, see, they brought Ori up the lane that time, and he was easy to defend, Mike. I mean, you know, he didn't come up with any urgency. And all you had to do was overplay him and then just protect against the backdoor move from the middle of the floor.
So San Antonio is done with their timeouts. As you see, the Mavericks don't have a foul to give.
Now, when you're looking at San Antonio, remember now, Ori is your center. Your other four people are all three-point shooters and guys who can take the ball to the basket.
The Spurs came back from 13 down. They trailed almost the entire game, but took the lead here in the fourth quarter, went up by 3. However, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs hitting clutch free throws. And now San Antonio down 1.
Now, see, Nowitzki is over in a far corner, away from the ball, playing Bruce Bowen.
Barry to inbound.
There you go, that good downstream.
Robert Horry to Ginobili. Ginobili off his leg, out of bounds. He can't save it. Mavericks ball with 2.5 remaining. San Antonio now has to foul immediately.
That's right. Put pressure on the ball. Do not give him a good look on the inbound. You got to go for the steal, and as soon as the guy catches, you must foul.
Howard looking, get to the Stackhouse. He's fouled with 2 seconds remaining. It's not over yet, even if Stackhouse makes these free throws, but what a big play this is.
Now keep an eye on this dribble handoff. You're going to see it right there. And Devin Harris, once again, gets that deflection. He reached in with his right hand and deflected that ball that went down off of Ginobili's leg.
Harris has been superb, 24 points and a big play. Now Stackhouse will go to the line for the first time tonight, but he is an excellent free throw shooter. 81% for his career. And misses the first. All right, now Ubi.
Now they have no timeouts.
No timeouts. Does Stackhouse miss this
Well,
intentionally?
that comes down to strategy, whether the coach would do this or not. Whether you deliberately miss or you make it and say, all right, we're still up 2. They have to take the ball out of bounds on the baseline, and now it comes down to a long pass or a pass to a player going up the floor, because you have plenty of time. With 2 seconds, you can get in 1 good dribble, maybe 2, before you release a shot.
No
big
timeouts for the Spurs.
Right.
Stackhouse,
that's
a violation.
Violation.
It has to hit the rim.
Oh, you have to hit the rim is right.
So now they get it side out of bounds, and the Spurs can set up a play with a good full 2 seconds.
All teams have a play in this situation. The big thing is you do not want to throw the ball back. You want to throw the ball with somebody moving forward.
They wanted him to miss it, but they wanted him to hit the rim.
The rim.
As the clock would have started. And now Barry will inbound. 2 seconds remain. Plenty of time for a catch, even a quick dribble and a shot.
Yeah, I'm surprised. See, they're finally bringing Nowitzki over there to pressure the ball. You can't let the guy have a clean look here. That's the one thing you do not want to do. They're bringing in Jop now to take Nowitzki's place, and this is a good move. That way he can pressure Barry. It's a tough look looking over a 7-footer with long arms.
Barry will inbounds from 3/4 court. Launches it up. Deflected by Howard. Oh, he puts it up. And the Dallas Mavericks take a 2-1 lead in the series. A thrilling finish here at the American Airlines Center. The Mavericks lose the lead in the fourth quarter, come back, and defeat the San Antonio Spurs for the 2nd straight game. A thriller in game 3. Ori's shot would have counted off the deflection from Howard.
You say, well, 2 seconds, they don't have a lot of time. Just look at this. There's your deflection, and how about this, the recovery, and you get a look at that basket.
Certainly a tough shot as the Mavericks celebrate, and they win it. And the two good friends, they still have more battles in this series as we go to Lisa Salters.
Thanks, Mike. Dirk, first let me ask you about the ankle. What happened on that play?
Well, as soon as I planned it, I rolled it over Duncan's ankle, and it was pretty stiff, but I'm glad I got to finish the game, and obviously a big win.
It looked like you were in a lot of pain out there at the end. What's it feel like now?
Yeah, I rolled it pretty good, but, you know, I rolled it before, so it's no big deal. We get plenty of ice on it tonight and get some rest tomorrow and be ready for Monday.
You guys led this game most of the way. It became really tight late. How were you able to hold them off?
Well, they kept coming. I mean, that's why they're world champs. They kept making plays. Duncan was phenomenal again, and you know, we showed character all season long. We buckled down the stretch. We got some big stops and got to the line some, and that helped.
And that last play with 2 seconds left, Jerry Stackhouse, obviously Avery Johnson wanted him to miss the free throw, but did he realize that he had to hit the rim?
You know, he's been in the league for 10 years, so you should know that you just got to hit the rim so the clock will start. But, you know, at least we got the win, and we correct our mistakes.
What did you think when you saw it miss the rim?
I was wondering what the hell he was doing, but at least we won the game.
All right, thanks a lot, Dirk. Good luck the rest of the way. Mike?
All right, Lisa, thrilling finish here in Dallas as the Mavericks, they blow a 13-point lead but come back and win one, sending this crowd crazy, the sellout crowd at the American Airlines Center, and they take a 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 series. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. Tomorrow, ABC Sports, more NBA playoff action. Heat and Nets from Jersey, Game 4 of that series. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern. So for producer Eddie Fibershoff, director Drew Esikoff, Hubie Brown, Lisa Salters, and our entire ABC crew, this is Mike Green saying so long from Dallas, Texas. You're watching ABC Sports, home of the NBA Finals.